Yes. I will do that right now. Actually, I need to do that anyway because I do want to test out the audio cues. Oh, I do see us. Oh gosh.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, we're there? Cool.
We are on. Okay. I am going to quickly test an audio cue and see how this goes. An audio cue.
All right,
And
let's
see
if I
how
can
this
link
goes.
there.
An audio cue.
Dun,
And see how this goes.
dun, dun,
Me, 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 me. Something appears to be wrong with my throat. Something appears to be wrong with my throat.
Sorry, I just got really excited. Okay.
Yeah.
Why am I not logged into Twitch? Okay.
Oh, good. You can have the same problems I do.
No. That's just going to be the beginning of the stream. Weird
Thankfully,
tech
Chrome remembered though. Oh no, it's sending me a text message.
10 out of 10.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh, got it. See, you also laughing on stream with the camera is weird.
Oh, Twitch. Okay.
Okay.
Twitch
Ooh,
just
we have a
reset
fancy
us.
background. That's nice.
Neat.
Yeah, I
guess
have to
I'm
move
gonna-
our windows around.
Alright,
Oh,
I'm
never
gonna
mind. I don't. Okay.
Casually link this.
Okay. I think we're good now. Hopefully Twitch doesn't do that again, or Discord. But anyway, all right. Shall we begin then? Maybe we should wait for a few people. Actually, I did just send the tweet out. So.
It says we've got 4 viewers, which counting all 3 of us is 1 more.
I don't know if it counts
Oh,
me
no,
or
it's just
not.
3.
Like, because I'm viewing it from the stream manager, so I don't know how that works. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
I'll just link it in a couple of places.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely good that I have my headset on because I can hear my boyfriend playing one of the fighting games out in the living room. I'm like, yeah, okay. This was the correct decision.
By the way, I want to show you my mug that I have with me. Avatar. The Last Airbender.
Ah, yes. Excellent. Very good.
Yes.
My brain. I went, yes, card captors. I'm like, wait, no, that's not card captors. Yes, come on, no, that's Avatar. That's Avatar.
I wish you would have said that and like just said that out loud, and I've been like, what?
Card captors on the cloud. Expect the unexpected.
Fantastic. Okay. Let us see. Okay, I did read that out.
Okay, I just let my the thing with the Discord, my Discord server know about it too. I linked them.
I was gonna say I tried to do it on Discord, but because I'm recording our video from Discord, I can't leave the window, so I guess I just can't send it to Discord. But you know, that's fine. That's okay. That's why I tried to open a new window for Discord, and it disconnected me and messed up our
Did you
video.
do it from the browser?
That's what I am doing it from.
Oh,
like
okay.
anytime I guess you like jump into Discord somewhere else, it like tries to put you there on the device you're on.
Hello, random citizen that is in the chat.
Oh yes, hello.
Oh. I'm gonna need to make this window so much bigger. I can't even see the chat the way it is right now.
Joke's on you. I have ADHD.
Take
that's
that.
right. You do too.
Oh, hey, it's Eli. Hi, Eli.
Oh, hi, Eli.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm just gonna throw this in a couple of Discord chats and see if anyone yells at me.
Here, while we're doing this, let me do something I should have thought of and go get my Steam Deck so that it can tell me what games I've played recently.
Oh, yes. Sounds good. And I will take a sip of tea. It's cold. That's okay. Just chatting. Okay. I think once Sam gets back, we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Cool. I just got a new PC, like late last year. I don't think I could have done this stream on my old PC. I think it would have been struggling a lot. So this is nice.
Yeah. Same with me and my other PC. I could have done it on my old laptop, but you would have heard, and then just everything goes to great googly moogly.
Oh god. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm not used to having a PC that's quiet. Like this thing makes no noise. It's wonderful. It will, like, sometimes when I start it up, it will kind of sound like it's revving, but then it stops and it doesn't do it again, and it's great. My other PC would roar quite a bit. Not a fun time. Oh, I see you have your PlayStation headphones on, Sam.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, they're nice. I like them. So
they're good headphones.
And to use them for things like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. And hey, speaking of things that have a lot of fans and make loud noises, prepare to hear this.
Oh.
Steam Decks are very, very. There's this like vent here that just hot air blowing out of it constantly.
Oh gosh.
But
fun. Also, real quick, hello everyone in chat. If you notice any tech issues, like the video's weird or the audio sounds bad, let us know and we'll fix it. But I believe everything's running smoothly, so I think we can begin.
Hooray.
Yeah, so welcome back everyone to a new way to talk about the games we played in past year.
2022.
Well, I say past year because in the past we haven't done a live stream, we've done a podcast.
That's true.
But now we're being fancy. We're recording a live stream. So yeah, this should be a lot of fun. I'm excited. How are you both this evening?
Pretty good. A little tired, but what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alive.
Yeah, alive.
Yep. That's a standard. That's our standard.
That's our standard, yeah. That is true. That is true. And hey, welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about the games we played in 2022. You'll see our names, our Twitter handles, and our YouTube channels below our video. So if you want to check any of us out, you can do that. I am Danielle. Why don't both of you introduce yourselves?
Well, I'm Sam, the game professor.
I'm Red Angel from Red Angel Ponderings, also the Red Angel X3 show, I guess.
And yeah, we're talking about games we played in 2022. I guess overall, if you could rate 2022 in games from 1 to 10, 10 being the greatest, 1 being the least, like, what would you say? That wasn't on the notes, I'm sorry.
That's slightly complicated to me because honestly, a lot of the games that I think are most like important or exciting that released this year are remasters of games that were previously hard to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Like the Persona remasters and others that aren't coming to my head right now. But and you know, that's like I want to count that, but also I don't know if that counts. I don't know, pretty good. I don't know if I have a 1 to 10 scale, but it's better than average, I'd feel like.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Sam on this one.
Mm-hmm.
We got some good games, and you know, I don't know, not like a ton of all-timers like some years, but you know, a lot of really good games. So
yeah,
and the indie scene's really been ramping up. We got some great indie games this year, so you know, that's good.
That is very good. And I'd probably agree. It was a pretty good year. Nothing. Like, I played a lot of great games, but, like, nothing I'd say that changed my life, I guess, or, but, like, still played a lot of really great games. I'm happy with the year in games that I had.
Yeah.
But with that, I guess we'll just get started. And where is the doc? There we go. So we'll start on a high note, okay? So last time we did this, okay, let me start over. Thinking we can first like go through some of our favorite games we played throughout the year. I believe last time we did this, each of us like would name one at a time and kind of go that way. So I guess we can do that again this year.
Let's do it in a round. Let's go.
Works.
Okay. Who would like to begin?
I can, if neither of you want to.
I mean, I can.
I can also.
Okay,
We're all too polite.
I'll just go ahead and start it out with, and I'll just take the hit of the obvious one. Elden Ring was really good.
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of the obvious one. My only real, like, substantial complaint about Elden Ring is that it's too damn big. And I don't even mean that in a... Like, I wanted to be done playing Elden Ring well before I was finished with it, but not because I wasn't enjoying myself, just because I had a lot of other games I wanted to play, and I was still doing Elden Ring because there's so dang much game in that game. So, like, I don't really know how to quantify that as, like, a pro or a con, because it's not like it was getting old, it's just that I wanted to be doing other things. So, like, I don't even feel like I can blame the game for it, necessarily. But it you know, the expansiveness is also just part of what makes it work. You know, I don't think I've felt that kind of exploratory motivation since Breath of the Wild, where like it legitimately feels like even just finding a random nook or cranny to go into is somehow rewarding. It was just it was very well done, and I look forward to a bunch of games that take cues from it in open worlds, as well as to a whole lot of takes that are going to get real annoying real quickly that hate on any games that don't copy its open world. So, you know, honestly,
Yeah.
I want less open world games in total, but you know, as they go, Elden Ring did a good job, and I enjoyed it very much. It's definitely one of my favorite FromSoft games. Though Sekiro is still top for me, but yeah.
Yeah, to add to that, I was pretty, well, you know, Sam, I was pretty bitter about Elden Ring for a long time because it was so long.
Danielle and I co-opted through much of it, so.
Yeah. And I just wanted it to be over because I, too, wanted to move on to other games.
Yeah.
Definitely still enjoyed it, but, you know, I also think, too, like you were kind of saying, Sam, that it does the open world formula so well that I almost feel like it's somewhat ruined my taste for open world games. Because I did, and we'll get to this later, but I did try to play Horizon Zero Dawn, and I feel like I'm over open world now. After played like Breath of the Wild and playing Elden Ring, I'm kind of burnt out of open world games, which I hate to say because I really want to play Horizon, and I don't want to be turned off, but I am, unfortunately.
The format is finally getting old. Well, I shouldn't say finally. It's been old for me for a while, but it's you know, that we're starting to run out of tricks, I feel like, with the open world format, and so we're getting to the point where it's no longer just like, oh, it's open world, that means it's good. Like it felt like it that's kind of where the industry was for a while.
Yeah.
Or rather, I feel like we're in the peak of that right now. It's probably going to start falling off. I don't know. I played the Forspoken demo and just spent most of the time running really fast to get to places because that's all the open world was for. So I'm really hoping we're like almost to that point of like critical mass where we get tired of it and get some more linear, more directed games again. But we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll get this out of the way now too, since we're on Elden Ring. I had this on my list of like one of the like more difficult games I played this year. Obviously, it being a Souls game. But I will say, yeah, but Elden Ring I feel like was the most accessible out of all Souls games that I played so far.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. It feels like it's a little less cryptic, and exploration is, and just trying things is rewarded a little more substantively, I suppose.
Yes.
Just, yeah. So that makes sense. I would agree with that for sure.
Especially because now we're playing through Dark Souls, and I feel like that is so punishing. in certain areas. So
yeah, and dated in some of its design too, even for a Souls game. So
yeah,
that just makes the cryptosity it makes it feel more cryptic even.
yeah,
So
for
yeah.
sure. But yeah, Elden Ring, very good. Just sucked up a lot of time, but very good. Excited for possible DLC one day, maybe. Anyway, how about you, Red?
See, I didn't play Elden Ring, so I'm going.
Yep.
So, so let me tell you about a game called Lumberjack. It's about
Okay.
you are a bear that is in fact a lumberjack, and it's so much fun. It's a short game. Probably get it on sale if you're really not cool with that, but it's so much fun and it's so goofy, and it's from the site it's from the developers, the Armor Games, which used to be a free online site that developed Sushi Cat and all that. Now they're because they've been making indie games for I think a little bit, and they made this, and I had a lot of fun with it. This was honestly one of my favorite games of the year because I had so much fun just having fun and being this bear that's destroying the corporate autocracy with a chainsaw. It's so much fun. And then you upgrade the chainsaw, and then you play tennis with the chainsaw against the evil corporate overlords. It's great.
What?
That's
That's
amazing.
pretty good.
It's
Adding
so
it to my
much
wish
fun.
list.
It's so much fun. It has no reason to be as good as it is.
Every time we record this, Red, you always like bring a game to the table that I'm like, why have I not played this?
Why have I not heard of this chainsaw bear game?
Yeah. That's too funny. Okay, I'm going to mention a game that I know you have played, Red, and recommended on past recordings. Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion.
I need to play
that. Finally.
I need to play it so bad.
Yes,
How
you
good
do.
was it?
It's amazing. And honestly, I played it in one sitting. So
Oh, I didn't actually realize it was that short. Okay. Cool.
yeah,
Did you
I think
unlock the hats? All the hats?
I didn't do all the hats, but I did quite a few, and
Yes.
they're great. Yeah, there are hats that you can collect in the game. It's really great. And like, I feel like there's so much I want to say about it, but I feel like I don't want to because a lot of what I loved about the game is what surprised me and made me laugh. And so I don't want to spoil that.
That's why I was so vague about it when I talked about it last year. I was going,
Yeah.
I don't want you to know about it because it's so much fun.
Right.
Yeah. There's a game I'm going to talk about at some point too that's going to be very similar in terms of like I can't tell you why, just play it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So but yeah, it really, I mean, it definitely harkens back to like the 2D Zelda games, which I've never played but know enough about, like, to know like the tropes that are in them. And yeah, it was just a fun like little puzzle fight game. Like, because you do have little boss fights from time to time. One boss fight actually was really hard. I died quite a bit, but otherwise yeah, it was really fun. And like I said, I did finish it in one sitting, but part of that was because I was having so much fun. I didn't want to stop. Like, it was on a Wednesday night, and Wednesday's usually the night I watch Survivor with some friends. I completely forgot. Like, I just played Turnip Boy. And
Oops.
yeah, and I was like playing, and I was like, shit. Oh well. Turnip Boy, it was worth it. So yeah, really enjoyed that game a lot. All right, I guess we'll go back to Sam.
Right, okay, let's see. Oh gosh, what other games particularly worth noting from this year? Oh, okay. I'm just gonna steal another obvious one, I guess. Stray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stray was good. I like Stray. There are some things about Stray that I do not love, but they are overshadowed by the things about Stray that I quite love. Mostly just kind of what it is. It's one of those games where even the specifics of a couple complaints and an ending that I think could have used a little bit more, just they only do so much to dampen the experience because it's just a fun, cute, interesting little game, and I enjoyed a lot. Words. I enjoyed it very much. I liked it a lot. You can collect songs for a robot to play on his guitar, and then you can request him to play one, and then curl up and just sleep in a little kitty circle next to him and purr. And on the PS5, the purring has a very nice, subtle little controller thing because of the haptic feedback on that controller. So,
Excellent.
yes, it's good stuff. I enjoyed Stray quite a lot.
Did you play Stray, Red?
I did.
You did. Okay,
I'm
cool.
not done, but I have played it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yeah, I love that you can just like meow all the time. Like one of the
Yes.
trophies is that you meowed 100 times, which I got because
I think I got that one too.
I mean, why
Just
not?
in general, like games that have a dedicated button to something that doesn't always serve a gameplay purpose but is just nice, like the meow button in Stray, the hum button in Transistor,
Yeah.
there are others. I'm having trouble thinking of them, but whenever a
Yeah.
game just has a like do a useless but nice little flavor thing button, I'm like, yes, good. That's great.
10 out of 10.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Stray is very good. All right, what about you, Red?
So I don't know if how many people have heard of this one. This is another one that I'm taking off the cuff. Okay, so there's this game called Beacon Pines that I've been looking forward to for a bit, and
I heard about it.
Yeah.
it came out this year, and it's surprisingly poignant. I was surprised about that because it had like that very, I hate to say it like this, but it's in that 80s almost style where it's like, oh, kids having adventures, getting in trouble, fighting something
Right.
that's much bigger than them, that kind of thing. But the way that the narrative takes it and how the characters react to certain events, and it has the emotional resonance of these 2022s where like the one of the characters just like scream because she's so upset about what's been going on with her. She screams out into the rain about how upset she is. And then she gets the main character to also scream outside into the rain, and it's one of the best scenes in the entire game, and it's very beautiful. And I went, oh, and they voice act the whole like little bit with like the little screams and everything on the Switch. And I'm going, oh god, am I about to cry over these anthropomorphic cat and deer?
Aw.
It's very sweet. It has multiple endings, and the way that the gameplay works, it is you wander around and you talk and you learn words on reacting to things, and then you use those words to react to things. But the thing is, what you have to do is that you have to keep replaying certain parts, so it has like a visual novel style. And the narrator keeps panicking every time that the game ends badly because there's multiple bad ends that are
Huh.
surprisingly kind of heavy. But the narrator goes, no, wait, that's not the right ending, this can't be right. And you go, oh no.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
It's really good, and honestly, I think it's my game of the year. I'm pretty sure. Like, it was Lumberjack for the sheer lunacy of it, but it became my game of the year because I actually finished it and I went, I think this is my game of the year. And yeah.
Nice. I have heard of that one, but I didn't really like. It wasn't on my radar too much, so I have now added it to my wish list. One of my favorite games that I played this year was The Pathless.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what to expect going into this game, and I feel like it was one of those games that just I played at the right time. Like I remember it was like during the summer, and I remember it was like storming outside, and it was just like kind of like cool vibes like while I was playing it. It just felt good. And it just was one of those games that aesthetically like just really appealed to me, like from the presentation, the art direction, and the music, and the bird in the game is just amazing.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the bird. There was like a speed run I watched of the game where they named the girl, or not the girl, the bird Pickles, and I have to call the bird Pickles now. I love that so much. But yeah, like you can snuggle the bird, which I really love. It's just really sweet, and speaking to the game itself, I just really love the platforming and the puzzles. I never felt like too stuck, which is always nice because if I feel stuck in a game with puzzles, I tend to get frustrated pretty quickly. So
Fair.
yeah, that fortunately didn't happen, which I was really happy about. And yeah, it was just a really, really aesthetically pleasing game to play and just a lot of fun. I loved it a lot. But
Well,
yeah.
because it was made with a lot of the same devs as Journey, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Abzu.
I
Yeah.
need to play that. Yeah.
And it's funny because it feels very much like what would happen if you crossed games like Journey and Abzu with like Fumito Ueda games like Shadow of the Colossus.
Mm.
Like it really just kind of feels like a fusion of those, which is nice because as much as most game devs are really inspired by Shadow of the Colossus and Ico and such, you don't see a lot of games that actually feel much like them.
Yeah.
You can see their influence everywhere, but not a lot in terms of like copycats is not the right word for it, but games that genuinely feel like they're trying to capture something similar. And so to see something that felt so much like that, but also so much like the previous games a lot of the devs had worked on, like Journey and such, was really fun. And I liked that one too. It was good.
Yeah, I also like that there was a bit of like, because with gliding with the bird, there was like a bit of like, and also like the open worldness of it reminded me of Breath of the Wild a lot, which I really liked. And yeah, it just, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I finally got to play it.
Yeah.
All right, back to you, Sam.
Oh, let's see. Are we doing? Oh, well, actually, I guess the Pathless wasn't this year, so we're doing games we played this year, regardless of.
I mean, you can
Okay.
still talk about it, but yeah.
I'm just trying. There are some games that I want to talk about that didn't come out this year, is all.
That's okay, as long as you played them in 2022.
Yeah. I finally got not quite caught up, but closer to caught up in the Yakuza series. I played 5 and 6. Actually, it might have been 4, 5, and 6 this year. And I guess I should just reiterate that the Yakuza games are incredible and everyone should play them. They're so, so good. 6 is the end of the story of the protagonist who would, like the guy who'd been the protagonist up to that point. And my understanding is that he like shows up in 7 and Like a Dragon, but he's not the main character anymore. This is someone else's story after that. So it's very much like completing the whole like arc of the story up to that point, and is really good. My opinions on the series seem to largely diverge because I liked 5 more than most people did, even though some parts of it were bafflingly awful. Didn't like 4 as much as a lot of people did, and 6 is probably my favorite of them. So just it's really good. The entire series still like seems to live up to this like basics core concept of a like hard-boiled crime drama in the center of which is this absolute cinnamon roll of a man who's just so nice and wonderful and can absolutely beat people into the ground when he needs to, but is just such a respectful and amazing person. Like and it just keeps going with that. It's just full of so many wholesome boys, and I love them so much. So yeah, just once again, everyone who hasn't played the Yakuza games really should. They're delightful, and I'm looking forward to playing 7. But I also found out that there was a weird zombie spin-off on the PS3 that never got ported because it's awful. So I bought that, and I'm playing it now out of curiosity.
Oh my god.
So
I need to play those, which hopefully I'll play them this year because I subscribed to PS
yeah, you
Plus
got
Extra.
0, right? Oh,
Well,
right. Okay.
Yeah, I do have 0. I think I also have 5 and 6 because they were on sale, so I bought them. But then I got like a good deal on PS Plus Extra, so I figured, hey, why not?
Yeah.
Get it, play some Yakuza games. So
yeah. You'll get to 5 and 6 eventually. Just eventually, because the series is just so good. I can't imagine someone starting it and just deciding, nah, I don't need to follow up on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to get to those. What about you, Red?
So I played Tales of Berseria this year, and that's not from the 2020s or anything. That is from 2013,
right.
I think.
Okay.
So I have had this game on Steam that a friend got me, and then I decided another friend of mine says you should really play it on the PS4. That it just plays better there, and I go, all right, fine. I'm just gonna buy it. Just why not? And so I started playing it. I think I started playing it last last year or the year before, and then this year and this past year I actually got through the rest of the game. Hey, so I think it's one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. Do not take that too
Okay.
seriously though, because I was not a massive JRPG person until I started going into adulthood and playing more JRPGs and going, "Oh, this is what this is." But I love Velvet. I love that entire cast. I don't hate a single one of them. That's surprising for me because usually there's always one where I go, leave. There's always a Waka. There's always a Waka.
I was gonna say Ketchi, but yeah.
No, but there's always
Uh,
a Waka. It's because I played through 10 and 10-2 last year. I think I mentioned that.
yes.
So
Right.
so me playing Tales of Berseria this year was kind of me going, okay, beating this because I played Symphonia back in the day, but I never got to play the final boss fight because
Oh.
my friend took the game back and just played the boss fight for me, and I went,
No.
yeah, it was so, there's a reason why we're not friends anymore. It was so just it was terrible. But
Aw.
I'm going to play it again though because I feel like I missed a lot. But now that I've played through Tales of Berseria, that's my standard for Tales games, which I feel extremely bad about because because me and my boyfriend tried to play Tales of Arise this year, and I wasn't feeling it, and I go, oh
Mm.
no, this is my standard now because the
Yeah.
soundtrack, everything about it was so good, and also the opening song for Tales of Berseria, or however you say it. Hey, so the band is the guys that did the opening for Naruto, and it
Which
throws
one? There are
the
so many
first
Naruto
one.
openings. Oh, okay.
I think it's the
Okay.
band. It's the Japanese band Flow. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was them at first. It took me a second. I went, "Why do I really like this?" And it just brings me back to a more simpler time. Oh, that's why. And I have played that so many times in my car since then, and just been rocking out to it. And my coworkers have driven up next to me, and they go, "What were you listening to?" And I went, "Anime," and just didn't say anything else.
I mean, how
Yep.
can you? Like, it's hard to explain that sometimes.
It really is,
Yeah.
and surprisingly, the gameplay, like a mixture of how good the gameplay is for Tales of Berseria, because I think the gameplay is really good, and then add into the fact the world and the story overall, it really hits all the good marks outside of the excessive amount of backtracking you have to do in some of the dungeons. It's really good. And I
Yeah.
was so surprised at how attached I got to everyone, and I went, "Oh, I don't want it to end. Oh no."
Aw.
It was so good, and now I'm genuinely nervous about possibly playing the game that came before it, which was Tales of Zestiria,
Hmm.
which came out a year before.
Mm.
And everybody's like, "Don't play Zestiria. If you play Berseria, don't play Zestiria." And I go,
Oh no.
I feel like I have to because it tells some of the fates of these characters. So I feel like I have to, but I'm scared too.
Mm.
Uh,
Relatable. Relatable.
yeah. I still need to play literally any Tales game.
Me
And I
too.
have Berseria, so that might be it, the first one. But
It's
I think I have Symphonia
I,
somewhere too. Well, I have
yeah,
Symphonia on GameCube, but my GameCube isn't out anymore. I think I have it on PC also or something.
Mm.
PlayStation?
I think Berseria is shorter than Symphonia because I know
Oh,
Symphonia is longer.
okay. Huh.
I know Symphonia is very long actually, now that I think about it.
All right. Okay.
But Berseria was pretty simple because it just there was a lot, like there was more of a, you can get through it pretty quickly because you're going back and forth a lot,
Yeah.
Mm.
and the fighting is a lot faster.
Okay.
So I would recommend. Just, by the way, you can change Velvet's clothes. Just saying, if you don't like the weird ripped outfit she has going on, and I know that there's a story reason for this, and I get it, and I actually grew to love the outfit, but it still threw me off at first. You can change her back to her village clothes if it bugs you. So that's an option.
All right.
Nice.
So there, that's mine.
Okay.
Tag, you're it.
Yeah. I feel like I should just comment real quick. I don't know like anything about the Tales games. I have added this one to my wish list.
Anime.
Yeah, I mean, just
I
pretty much just another big JRPG series like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and
Yeah,
you
and this
know.
one, and it's more shonen. It's like fantasy shonen anime more so than any
Mm.
of the other ones.
Okay. Gotcha. Good to know. Okay, well cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. my big JRPG this year was Persona 5 Royal.
Mm.
And it was one of my favorites of the year that I played. Very long, not as long as Elden Ring, but very long. I I finally like committed to playing it this year because it's like Persona 5 has been on my list for so long, and I feel like I kept putting it off because it was so daunting. But yeah, finally committed to playing it, and I have to say, like, just playing this game makes me feel so cool while playing it. Like, just the design of the menus and the music and the dialogue and just the sound effects, just all of it coming together was so cohesive and good in a way that just was so satisfying to play that I had so much fun with it. And I do find that the game is very astute in sort of its critique of people in power, and like I love how it really revels in like teenage rebellion and disobeying the rules as the right thing to do, which is awesome. And yeah, like I don't know. I also really liked the story that Royal added, because Royal does add on like another story chapter, which I was really nervous about because once you finish the game, like I feel like I am finished. I don't want to keep playing because I feel like it's ended. And I was afraid that I'd feel burnt out, which I did like a tiny, tiny bit. But luckily, the additional chapter was so good, and it felt like it like seamlessly like worked with the base game that I enjoyed the hell out of it. They did a really good job with it.
Good.
Yeah, I really like that. I do like, the only thing I will say is like the game, I didn't find the confidant storylines all that interesting all the time. Pretty basic, for lack of a better word. But overall, like I think like well, okay, actually another thing I'll bring up is this game can be kind of sexist and homophobic sometimes, like
Yeah.
which is
That's
uncomfortable.
Persona for you, unfortunately. Genuine, like
Yeah.
overall well-intentioned and genuinely very insightful in many ways, and also there's just some sexism and homophobia in there, I guess, because the director of the series is apparently out now, and there's someone new in charge, so hopefully that gets better.
Yeah. Hopefully so, because yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that made me uncomfortable, and felt a little tone deaf. But because I haven't played any other Persona games, so this was my first one, and I feel like I'm a little nervous to go back to the other ones because I feel like this one's so stylized and accessible as it can be for a Persona game.
Right. 4 definitely doesn't feel as nice and streamlined, but it also, in my opinion, at least has a much better cast. Like, I like the characters in Persona 5, but the characters in Persona 4 legit feel like family to me. Like, I'm so close to them. I love them very much.
Yeah.
And it also has some, like, sexism and homophobia problems, but it feels more earnest overall, I feel like. Like, there's less like, oh, that's just bad, and more just like, okay, I don't know, but I see what you're trying to do, you know. For me, at least. There are people who disagree with that, but that's... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to give that one a shot because yeah, I also love the characters in this game, but like the only character that I felt pretty attached to was Makoto.
Because she's amazing.
She is, but even she, like, for her like storyline that she has, like it's kind of like they're all pretty standard and basic. Like there's not much to them. But I do like her a lot. But yeah, it was one of my favorites. A lot of people call it like a masterpiece. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it is really tight. Like for what they did with like the themes and how tight the game design is, it was really rewarding to play. So yeah, I'm really glad I finally got to that game this year. So yeah. Sam.
Well, I'll bring out another one from a previous year. I finally played The House in Fata Morgana. I don't know if... I know you haven't played that. Red, have you played that one?
I started to.
Okay. Yeah, it's a visual novel that is this wasn't the game that I meant when I was saying that I would talk about a game that I can't tell you anything about, but it is like that. Like the basic premise as you start out is that you are someone who doesn't seem to remember who you are, and you're in this mansion, and there's a maid sort of like who knows that you don't know who you are and is trying to gently guide you through this process of realizing who you are by telling you stories of different people who've lived in the mansion throughout the centuries. And the implication is sort of that you are probably one of these people and you're not sure which, so she's going to tell you these stories so you can figure it out. And much like a lot of good games, that has so little to do with what it actually eventually ends up being about, because it goes some places. And some of those places are quite dark. Like, it's a game sort of it's a visual novel primarily like about trauma and how it happens, why it happens, how we respond to it, how it harms us, how we can sort of try and heal from it. Like, it's a fairly long visual novel, so there's just a lot of text and words about this, and so it goes pretty deep and does get pretty dark, but is nonetheless very hopeful in the end of it and touches on some subject matter that I never would have expected it would. Like, not just in terms of darkness, but like just in terms of interesting themes and ideas that I didn't really just expect to see there. It is very, very good, and definitely one of those things where, like, I'd say if you can handle the content, then absolutely do it. It's not like it's like brutally violent or graphic or anything. It just like touches on a lot of, suicide, sexual assault, like really difficult topics. But, if that's something that one can handle, I'd recommend it to pretty much anyone. It's extremely good. One of my patrons paid me to do an analysis on it an embarrassing amount of time ago, and so I'm finally going to soon. But yeah, it's a hell of a ride, and definitely one that I would recommend. And it's on pretty much everything now. It's on PC, Switch. I have it on my Vita also. So for any of you Vita owners out there who couldn't get the game on your computer or Switch, you're covered, I guess. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice. All right, Red.
Back to me. Doop, boop, boop. Hey, so I played Kingdom Hearts 1 this year.
Hell yeah.
Oh, how'd you feel about that?
It was Kingdom Hearts 1. No, I get it. I get why people like it now. It's one of those, like, I wanted to play it back when it came out when I was younger, and I played it with a friend, and then it was scratched somewhere, and we were stuck on Ansem saying his name for, like, 30 minutes, and then we left the room, and then by the time we got back, he was finishing up his name, and then I went, we may need to play something else. But we had gotten to that point, and I decided that, well, since my boyfriend has all of them, why not? So I started Kingdom Hearts 1, and I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it for the most part. There's just I never needed to be yelling at a screen when a boss turned into a boat. I never needed to see a man turn into a boat. And I'm going to be crude here. I called it. I'm like, why does this man have a dick boat, honey? And he goes, I don't know.
It is a little uncomfortable.
I go, this is a phallic-shaped boat, and I cannot unsee it now. So that was me the whole time.
I don't even remember the boat. Where was the boat?
It's like
at the very end. It was his final stage.
Oh, well, that explains it. I literally couldn't quite finish. I got into that fucking boss rush like at the end, and eventually was just like, nah, I can't do this. I'm watching the cutscenes, so that explains it. Okay.
Yeah, no, went through that, and I just went, and I apparently skipped the last cutscene.
Oh my god!
And I didn't mean to, because I was going, I was like, shut up, Mickey, shut up, Mickey, shut up, Mickey, shut up, Mickey, shut up, Mickey.
Oh,
Mickey.
no.
And so I went back and I went and watched it, and I went, okay, now I see what's going on. I see why people like this now.
Hold on.
It's such an important cutscene. You find out that Mickey is there, and you don't know what it means. So...
No, as soon as I saw Mickey, I was like, get out.
Look, and get this, okay? Like, this is not a spoiler. I'm just telling you what's upcoming for future games, okay? You're gonna find a lore reason for why Mickey doesn't have a shirt on. Just telling you that.
I'm just an exhibitionist. Like, I hate.
Interesting. Okay.
It's really dumb. I love Kingdom Hearts so much that I just don't
I
understand.
could see why. Like, I'm getting it now because I'm now on 2, and I'm probably gonna finish 2 this year. And I get why people like that one too.
Yeah.
If you like Chain of Memories, I'm concerned about you.
I was going to say, did you
Okay.
play or at least watch the cutscenes for Chain of Memories before too?
I played it, and I remember having it rented on the GBA when I was younger, and I had played it, and I go, I don't know what's happening. And
Right.
so I returned it. And then I'm playing it, just playing it with Max, just standing there and watching everything that was going on, and I went, what? There was a lot of that, and I just got frustrated. The first half of the game was fine, actually. I will say that the first, I think, 2/3 of the game, I was okay, and I was good. The gameplay was fine. I was like, okay, I can get used to this. This is fine. At that last half, I went, nope, kill me. Nope, kill me. And I just, I passed the controller over to him a couple times. I'm like, I'm going to break the controller if we keep going.
Yeah. I played enough of Rechain of Memories to realize I didn't really want to play Chain of Memories and watch the cutscenes instead. I don't like doing that, but I was like, no. And
I didn't like
just
pass the
didn't
controller over.
expect, like, I had heard all the stories, but I did not expect to start Kingdom Hearts 2 and have it immediately reference the things that happened. And,
Yep.
like, I can't imagine. I know most people played 2 without playing Chain of Memories. I cannot imagine that. That must be so confusing.
Yeah.
I had,
oh,
God.
so
I
weird.
had such a big group of friends that were so obsessed with Kingdom Hearts 2. And again, I had no idea what was going on. So I watched all the cutscenes, and I still didn't know what was happening.
Yep.
And so once I got the context, I do know better now, but I'm going, this is still silly. Also, I'm going to throw this out there, even though no one will probably hear this. Hey, so Kingdom Hearts is like the death of the adolescence of these characters.
Right.
Yes, you heard Kingdom Hearts. I just hear him from the den, just like, did I hear Kingdom Hearts? I go, oh, God.
Hell yeah.
No, it's the death of the adolescence, and
Right.
I can go off about the whole, like, I go, oh my gosh, it's the it's everything I did research on in college, and I want to go off about it, but I go, I don't want to play those games over again right now. I don't have that sanity at the moment. So
there's a lot of, I understand why Kingdom Hearts is beloved. I like a lot of things about it, but man, that first game, there are a lot of things I don't like about it. So it's
also, here's how
I'm in pain right now.
I'm sorry, the level design is bad though. I don't like it.
Here's me, just when I was playing the Tarzan level, because I know that one's much maligned by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Here's me while I'm fighting Clayton. I go, so is he gonna hang himself? Max looks at me, what? I go, have you not seen the movie? He goes, he hangs himself? And I go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Through my playthrough, though, I have found out that my boyfriend has in fact seen actually close to none of the Disney movies and knows them only through Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, that's not good.
And it's the funniest damn thing.
That is hilarious to me because usually people have seen all the Disney movies and only know Final Fantasy through Kingdom Hearts. So that reversal is very good.
He knows
also, they'll
none
make
of
him watch Disney movies.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna make him watch all of them, but we watched The Hunchback of Notre Dame because he started playing Dream Drop
It's
Distance.
a good one. Yeah.
And he went, oh wow, this movie's really beautiful. I went, yeah.
Yes.
Because he's seen some of the Disney movies that, like,
Right.
he's seen Hercules, but he just hasn't seen like the bulk of them.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna make him sit through certain.
I mean, you don't have to make him watch like Home on the Range or Fun and Fancy Free or whatever, but you know, there are a lot of genuinely good movies.
Like, I want to give him a Cliff Notes version of Sleeping Beauty. Be like, okay, this is the part that's good. We're gonna fast forward here, and here's the other part that's good. Because that's what I did when I was a kid. I watched Sleeping Beauty, and but my favorite friend was fast forward button going, yeah.
I'm like, I must be the only person who loves that movie. That's like one of my favorites.
I
do actually think Sleeping Beauty is quite gorgeous, but
it's an absolutely beautiful movie, and I love it dearly. I just cannot stand this huge pause in the movie where they're all singing.
Yeah.
And my little ADHD brain, I didn't know that I had ADHD at the time, but I go, why am I really bored? I'm just gonna fast forward this. Their voices are chippy now. Okay, hey, there's Aurora again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I will say, okay, so like I have so many things to comment on right now, but I will say
Welcome
that
to our Kingdom Hearts podcast.
yeah.
Oh Christ. What have I done?
So in regards to Chain of Memories, yes, it's I think so I haven't played the original GBA version, but I've heard it's better just because it's like a 2D space,
Yes.
you know.
Yep.
And I I will admit that I after playing it, I do enjoy it, but like kind of like you said, Red, like I enjoy the beginning half. I'll even say I enjoy all of Sora's story. It's
Yeah,
Riku's
no.
stuff that I cannot
I
stand.
did not play Riku stuff. I played
Yeah.
Sora.
Yeah, it's bad because like they get rid of your ability to customize your deck. So you get a deck like every new world you go to. They just give you an assigned deck. And in Wonderland, your cards are super low and it's really hard to fight enemies. And it sucks. And
I can't. How do you make a deck building game and
And
just
not let
say
you.
no? Now you can't do deck building.
it's
I
terrible.
hate that.
Yeah, and I remember when I got to the final boss in Riku's section, I was playing in beginner mode, first of all, because I was so scared to play this game. I didn't think I'd do well. And I died so many times to the final boss in Riku's. It was just so frustrating. Admittedly, shameless plug, if you want to watch me play the game on Proud mode here on the Twitch channel, I'll be doing that.
No.
For
boy.
some sick reason. So
Why? Why are you
well,
doing that to yourself?
I'm excited to play Sora's section, like genuinely on Proud mode. I'm excited for the challenge. I'm really scared for Riku's stuff. I'm just yeah. We'll get to that when we get to it. It's fine. But going back to Kingdom Hearts 1, I platinumed that earlier in 2022, which I didn't expect to do. I was replaying it for story purposes. I decided I'll replay it and I will watch all the cutscenes and we'll have a fun time. And something apparently cropped up in me that was like, let's just get all the trophies. And actually, I thought it would be painful, but it was a lot of fun. I did enjoy myself. Parts were painful, like trying to get all the synthesis stuff put on a podcast. That's always good because you're going to be there for a while. And the gummy ship stuff, not fun.
Always painful.
Yeah.
In one at least. Maybe it's better in other games or whatever, but I hate the gummy ship in one.
I mean, it's funny
If you
because
build
sorry.
a wall of guns. Build a wall of guns.
Well, yeah, pretty much. But even then, it feels like Star Fox was programmed by a 10-year-old or something. Like, I don't like it.
It's
It's
funny.
better in 2?
Okay, good. That's fine.
I mean, you
long as
say
it's
it with a
better.
question mark.
I do say it with a question mark because I'm still terrible at building my gummy ship. And my
Yeah.
gummy ship is just a wall with some guns and tiny wings on the side.
Right.
And I have somehow done really well on the gummy ship things. And
Yep.
Max is still baffled. He goes, how? And I go, I don't know.
I mean, the building stuff I love, honestly. That's really cool. I just don't like controlling it.
I mean,
In one.
It's just a brick wall. It's just a brick wall.
I do forgive the gummy ship a little in Kingdom Hearts 1. Not too much, but a little, just because I don't hate it as much as most people. But one of the trophies was like you had to get like there's different challenges you can complete on different gummy missions, and one of them was like you can't deliver damage and you can't take damage, and
Okay.
I was struggling a lot with it. And then one day I got home from work and I'm like, let's just try. Let's just see how it goes. And I got it like the first time I sat down. I was like, thank God.
Wow.
Because if I had died or if anything had happened, I think I would have not gotten the platinum. I think I would have gotten frustrated. And the hardest part was, the last 2 trophies I had to get was complete the game without changing your armor. And you can't click continue if you die.
Oh.
I played that on beginner mode because,
Yeah.
why?
Right, yeah.
That was painful. I did that on stream as well, and Chernobog sucked because I chose a magic build.
Chernobog sucks anyway.
Well, yeah, He does. Not a good
I'm
fight.
pretty sure he's the one I got stuck on. It was amazing that because as soon as that music started, I was like, oh, I was freaking out. I was so excited to see him in that game, and then I actually had to fight him, and I was just like, no, I hate this.
It's not. Well, I think it's because the flying mechanics. It's kind of like the swimming in Little Mermaid world. It's not that great, unfortunately. But because I chose the staff, you don't get like leaf bracer. I think it is, which is like saves you from like one hit kills. You don't get that till like level 70 or something, or it's like or 80 something. I was level 43, I think. Maybe not even that. And I was like, well, I guess I just have to
I'll
power
die
through it. Yeah. I did do it. Obviously, I've completed it, but yeah, that was rough. Chernobog was the worst fight doing that. But platinuming it, like that's one of my favorite games. I know it's clunky, but it's like a clunky that I understand. Like, so I love it.
Right. I gotcha.
I do love it, but yeah. It makes me very happy that you're playing through the Kingdom Hearts games, Red. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts as you go on.
I'll have to get through because I got partway through 2 and then got distracted, so I'll have to get back to them so we can all talk about it next year.
I am
Yeah.
2/3 of the way through 2. I am enjoying myself. I really want to talk to the person. Just talk to the person that did the Pirates of the Caribbean level and go, okay, why though? Why this?
Yeah.
Why this one mechanic? Why this one mechanic? Also, I
Oh.
hate your boss. I hate your boss. I hate the boss. The boss is the worst.
Yeah, I guess we'll get to that if Sam plays the game this year. Hey, Sam.
So,
Have fun.
yeah, cool.
Yeah. Moving on from Kingdom Hearts. That was a great tangent. I love that. So, one game that I really loved this year, not so much loved playing all the time, but love just like overall, was The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Oh,
Yep,
Played
that's a
that.
good one.
It is. So I don't know why, but like I had never heard of this game until probably like 5 years ago. Like I didn't know it existed.
oh,
Because there are 2 Zelda games on the N64, and everyone freaks out about the less good one.
Seriously, yeah. And I had
Sorry,
played.
I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, I'm sure. But Majora's Mask is just better than Ocarina of Time.
who's
I
gonna
mean, it
arrest
is. It is. It's doing more interesting things, in my opinion. I mean, I like Ocarina of Time. You know, for what it is. It's
Yeah.
you
It's
know
a milestone in a lot
Yeah.
of ways for like 3D navigation in games and stuff. Genuinely impressive.
right.
And then
Exactly.
improved upon.
Yeah, for sure. I really just love, like, again, because I had never heard of it till like fairly recently, I'll say. I was just totally I went in pretty blind. I'd seen the moon. That's about it. And Skull Kid, like I watched like a short film on Majora's Mask one time. I think that's actually how I heard of it. It was like a 5-minute short film. I should send it to you both. It's actually really good because I rewatched it after playing it. But anyway, so I guess like the thing that I loved about this game was just seeing the assets of Ocarina of Time used in a completely new context was just overall exciting to me initially. But then seeing, I guess, the things that Majora's Mask deals with in comparison to Ocarina of Time, it's just so much darker and sadder than I ever expected. And the way like it tells its story, like where Ocarina of Time is the hero's journey, Majora's Mask is just so much weirder and creepier and just so creative for like the time that they made it. They made it in under a year, I believe. It's like the story of like the making of this game is just bizarre. They made it so quickly and it's amazing. Oh, cat.
That was not Meg. She was mad at me. But
Oh, well, any cat in the stream is good cat.
yes.
But anyway, like knowing that they could have gone like a safer route with this game is definitely something that like occurred to me while playing, and yet the stuff that they decided to do in such a short amount of time is just astounding to me. And the sadness that is in the game feels very appropriate after Ocarina, since like you were literally starting with Link trying to find Navi again. And Like the sadness, it
I
just
don't know
like
why he would do that, but
like she's so annoing.
sorry, yeah, no, I understand it narratively. I just hate that stupid fairy playing the game.
Listen. That wasn't a good impression. It's much more obnoxious than that, but yeah, so the sadness that like is there, it is present in the entire game, and I really felt that while playing it. And I loved how like disturbing and creepy a lot of the design was, and the mechanics of like the time was very interesting to me, though admittedly I think it took some years off of my lifespan because of how stressful it was. But yeah, I really struggled with that sometimes. Like at one point I had done, I think it's Snowfall Temple in like the Goron area, and I like went to this house like after the snow melts to like get a like strengthen my sword, but it was day 2 and you have to do it overnight. Or sorry, it was day 3 and you have to do it overnight. So like it wouldn't let me do it, and I had done all these things to like get an item to strengthen my sword and stuff, and I'd gone through all of this crap, and I was like, why? I have to do it all over again. I don't want to. I have to fight the boss again to melt the snow, and then I have to do the Goron race again to get the item to strengthen my sword. It was painful. But
Yep.
overall, though, like again, moment to moment, didn't always love Majora's Mask, but on the whole, I really love Majora's Mask.
One of those rare games where I'd say a little bit of player hostility is kind of like earned and part
Mm,
of it. Like that doesn't like I'd agree it's not. I enjoyed Breath of the Wild just in terms of like playing it and having fun significantly more than I ever did Majora's Mask, but the experience of Majora's Mask was so much, like I'm with you on that. It was such a cool thing that,
yeah,
even some of the stuff that I didn't necessarily enjoy doing, I can forgive.
right.
That's Yeah, it's a really interesting one.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, back to you, Sam. If you have any more
Right.
favorites.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I mean I've got a lot, but which oh gosh. Okay. So I played a game called Chorus, and I realized that I apparently need to talk more about how I really like spaceship dogfighting games, because I really do, but no one knows that about me, so no one told me about this incredible space fighting game. It's so good. Like I haven't found a lot of good games in this genre for a long time. Like back in the day we had Rogue Squadron, and I really liked the Colony Wars back on the PS1. Lately they've gotten a lot more technical, like when I first got my Vive, I was looking for some good VR ones, and all the VR ones that I found were, just like these really. They weren't so much focused on having cool space fights in your cool spaceship. They were focused on, very specific maneuvering as you were going into port to buy some things that you could then sell that, whatever, like, Eve Light or something. And I just really like spaceships flying around and blowing things up. I think it's cool. It's one of the more simplistic pleasures that I tend to get in media. I enjoy it a lot. Uh, and this game Chorus really just satisfies that. It is very, very cool. Cool story about a woman who like defected from a cult after basically helping to destroy a planet and realizing, oh, okay, this is fucked up. I need to do something else about this. And it's basically her and her ship like going around trying to fight back against this cult, and it's got a cool drifting mechanic where like if you're flying, you can like drift and keep moving in the direction you were but turn any way you want, and it feels really nice and smooth. It's just a really nice feeling space combat game, and I missed those. I haven't felt like this game made me feel since like Rogue Leader on the GameCube, probably. So, you know, good stuff. I was very, very happy. Also, banger soundtrack. They did not need to go as hard with the music as they did, but they did, and it's very, very good. So, if there's anyone else who, like me, has just been hungering for that kind of game lately, I definitely recommend Chorus. That was from last year, I think. Um, but yeah, very good. I liked it a lot.
I know nothing about this genre, so
Yeah, just imagine making a game out of a space fight in Star Wars where you're playing an X-wing or whatever, that kind of thing.
okay.
Um, yeah, just it's fun. But like I said, a lot of the ones that are coming out now are very technical and less about, doing cool things in space and more about having a free range of motion and trying to do very specific movements throughout, or like just very technical and sci-fi instead of having a cool ship and blowing up the other cool ships. Which is just more fun for me, at least. I'm not all that interested in the technicalities of, I guess like hard sci-fi versus science fantasy difference there. So, yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. How about you, Red?
So I played the remaster of Chrono Cross.
I need to play that. How
Yes.
was it?
It was good. Do not expect the FPS to be great, because the FPS for the original game was also not great. So it's kind of funny to me that people were going, the FPS is so bad, and I go, guys, the original FPS was bad. And then I see comparison videos, and yeah, it's a little bit better on the PlayStation 1. But the difference between that, I'm going to assume, is it's because y'all ported it pretty much exact, didn't you? There was very little that they changed. Very little. They swapped out some of the artwork for like the still where they're like just talking and it's just straight text without any cutscenes. You have the option of having new art or old art. And the music is almost the exact same.
I mean, you don't want to change that.
Well, no, but they didn't remaster any of like everything is pretty much the same from what I've played, from what I remember playing, but I had never finished the original game.
Right. I've never touched Chrono Cross, honestly, so
Me neither.
Yeah.
I never touched Chrono Trigger, so you could see why this game would be a little funky for me when I was playing, going, I don't know a lot of what is going on in this part, but
right.
It's playable even if you have not played Chrono Trigger, but there are going to be some parts where the people are going to just tilt their head and go, what? Because the multiple timeline thing kicks in real hard in this one, where you will have a second and you will have to think about this and you go, oh right, time travel.
Right.
It's honestly, it still holds up to a certain degree. There's a lot of aspects of the gameplay that if you ask somebody who has only played modern JRPGs to play, they're gonna look at you like you grew a second head.
Right.
Like, not every fight gives you experience, because you don't get experience in Chrono Cross. You get possible stats and drops. That's what you get. You do not get experience.
Interesting.
Unless you play boss fights. Boss fights, you get experience.
Huh. That's interesting.
They tried so many weird things on the PS1, and sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't, but I love that they tried.
For what it is, it works. And the other part is that while your party doesn't level up with you, they do sort of. Because basically, you can have a party member come in and you haven't really used them, and they will still be usable in fighting, and it's not like you're going to be completely screwed. But some party members are better than others, because remember, there's 56 characters?
Oh, damn.
So there's just some characters go better than others, and you can usually tell which ones they are because they tend to be human.
Right.
Just saying. Because as much as I would love to say that Fungi, the actual mushroom man with an axe, has relevance to the plot, he doesn't. He really doesn't. Pashul, the pink dog, who's the worst. I know that Pashul could be really great. I know a lot of people have been like, I've done a Pashul only run. Of course you have. But listen, it just I don't like Pashul. And for anyone that is planning on playing Chrono Cross, when the main character Kid asks you at the very beginning, "Hey, can I come with you?" Don't let her come with you until like I think partially to the next town. Because she'll come with you and she'll eventually just join your party forcibly. And the reason you don't do that is because you get 3 other characters if you don't.
Hey, wow, okay.
Yeah, that's something that nobody knows at first when they first play the game. I knew about it because my ex had me play it, and he told me that was the first thing he told me, and I went, oh, okay. and you get the best healer in the game if you do not let her join your party until the end.
All right.
Until she forces you. Because that you do get the best healer in the
So
game.
weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of
It-
games in that era did stuff like that.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And also, you have to have multiple playthroughs to get everything. This is not like, oh, like multiple save files. It's like, no, like a lot of multiple save files.
Oh.
That makes sense.
Because time travel,
Yeah.
there are
I was gonna say
certain.
Chrono Trigger had like what, 7? It had a lot of endings, so I'm
12.
not surprised. 12?
12?
Okay. I was gonna say I thought that was a little low, but
No,
Wow.
yeah, no. Chrono Cross, because that you can get certain endings by doing certain things, and I just like I got the endings I got. I'm good. I don't want to play it again
Right.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
I want to like take a bit to let it sink in.
Mm.
I'm gonna do an I love it anyway on it because that I really enjoyed it, but there's a lot I can just see people going, nope, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with, particularly with older games, where I'm just like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. But I want to
Yeah.
play. So,
But
Yeah.
there's a fast forward button, and that is a
Ooh.
godsend for this
Oh,
game.
That so many JRPGs that are like being remastered are adding that to it, and it's always just
It's so good.
great feature.
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I still gotta play 7.
You do.
It's good. I
One
definitely
day.
do recommend it.
One day
I
I
know
will
it's
play
like
Final Fantasy
overrated
7.
or whatever, but it's also extremely good. So
Oh,
I know. I've gotten to the point where I go, I will play you eventually, and then I
Right.
just and I walk and I put it over in the corner with Breath of the Wild, and then
yeah, I've got a long list of those, so I get you.
yeah. It's relatable.
Yeah.
Very relatable.
What is it that I think it was, oh gosh, which author was it who said that a classic is a game that everyone wants to have played, not a game that everyone wants to play? Or he said book, but
yeah, no, that's about right.
yeah. And 7 is where, like it's enjoyable to play too, but like a lot of times you just have that list. You're like, someday.
I'll get to you eventually, friend, but I'm over here with Lumberjack and
Look, sometimes you got to go with like the games that make you feel happy. Sometimes like I look at my list and I'm like, I mean, yes, I want to play that game, but also like
gotta
I'd
follow
ra-
the serotonin.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Do what makes you happy, So yeah, I totally
Yep.
feel that.
But that's what I would recommend Chrono Cross Remaster though. Even if you're not big into it's a lot of fun.
Hmm.
There is some things that have not aged well.
Right.
God, it and I've been trying to figure out if there's like a word for some of like it's like a little bit of that classic gaming sexism where it's like you're just mad because I'm a girl, and I'm like, Serge can't even talk. Serge doesn't even react. Like he will react. Like that's the weird thing about this character is that he reacts, but he does. But they go, "Oh right, you still can't talk because of your trauma." I'm like, "Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay. At least he has a reason."
Oh
my
boy.
God.
But I'd recommend it honestly. I would recommend it if only you know that it is definitely from the PS1 era and it plays like one.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Is that like I always get confused by that though? Is it like a direct sequel to Chrono Trigger or
Kinda. Yes and
Almost, sorta.
no. The
It's
events,
complicated.
yeah, basically the events of Chrono Trigger started at separate timelines. It is one of those separate timelines.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Like that is kind of how most people view it,
Hmm.
from what I've gathered, because it is like the direct sequel in some sense, but this is one of the many timelines of Chrono Trigger that is potential. Because there is a timeline where they potentially all died as kids, and you see that in the game too. So this is like in a weird spot, especially since the entire world is called Chronopolis. So,
Oh gosh.
Damn. Okay.
so it's just kind of in that funky area.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, because Chrono Trigger is another one that I've been meaning to play. Because is Chrono Trigger on the Switch?
I don't think so, because I would have played it by now if it was on the Switch,
Yeah, I'm
probably.
not aware of it being on the Switch. It's on PC and it's on the DS. That was a good version too.
It's on the DS,
Um,
really? Okay.
yeah. It's on iOS and Android too, like it's on mobile, but I think that version is generally considered bad. I might be misremembering though.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, because I mean, I would like to play it at some point.
yeah, I
I
would
can.
argue that pretty much
Eventually.
any format in which you can play Chrono Trigger is a good format because it is a very good game.
Hmm.
I'm in the minority that thinks six is the superior. Final Fantasy six is the superior Super Nintendo RPG to Chrono Trigger, but even so, Chrono Trigger is fantastic. So, you know, yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get to Final Fantasy VI as well. So,
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is also one of my favorite soundtracks of anything ever of all time. So, worth it for that.
you know that gets me like a soundtrack. If I like a
Yes.
soundtrack, I'm like, I'm gonna play that game.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely dig the soundtrack. But,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
So, admittedly, I said it was like a pretty good year in gaming, but now I've actually run out of favorite games. But I have some honorable
Yeah.
mentions. And one of them is, gotta say it, Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes.
Oh yeah, that came out this year.
It did. It was one of those games that I feel like just nobody cared about at all. Like nobody talked about it. Nobody really like seen it. Just it kind of came and went. And after playing it, at least one of the routes, like it's a solid game, and I enjoyed my time with it. But there is a little bit of a little bit lacking in the story department in terms of like it just feels unfinished. But for the most part, the reason I wanted to mention it is just because we literally talked about this last recording. I really don't like Muso games. Is that how you say it? Muso?
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, Muso, I guess. It
Muso?
occurs to me. I don't know if I've heard
Dynasty
it pronounced out loud.
Warriors.
Dynasty
Yeah, Dynasty
Warriors,
Warriors
yeah.
games. Why not?
Because I tried to play Age of Calamity and I really did not enjoy it. And so when they announced this, I was like, well, all right. I mean, I literally just fell in love with Fire Emblem Three Houses, so I have to play this. And it ended up actually working really well for me. I really enjoyed the Dynasty Warriors gameplay. And just like the Fire Emblem things that were carried over from Three Houses, like the support system, the weapons. Tea time is now you go on an expedition with folks, like a little picnic, which is interesting, a little less awkward than tea time. And yeah, I think what I enjoyed about it is just that it did have a lot of like I think the characters and being reunited with them really helped with this game in a way that like Age of Calamity didn't really have. Like when I think of Breath of the Wild, I don't think about how I fell in love with the characters because I really didn't for the most part. Like I liked them fine enough, but that's not why I fell in love with Breath of the Wild. Or with Three Houses, like that's exactly why I fell in love with it. So that helped a lot with Three Hopes for sure. And put way more hours into it than I intended. I think like just like I think on howlongtobeat.com it said something like 40ish hours to beat one route. I think it took me like 70, but that's because I really tried to do like everything. Like to get because like you can get like a different ending based on certain things you do, so I try to do that. So yeah, it took me a little longer, but it's a good game. It's actually better than I was expecting. Just again, it feels unfinished, and I wanted to do the other routes, but then after 70 hours, I was like, nah, I'm good. Like,
Right.
but it was a lot of fun, so I did want to mention it on here for sure. But yeah, back to Sam.
All right. Well, let's see. How many of these are we doing before we move on to
Good
the
point.
categories? Because I want to
This will probably be
make
the
sure
last
I know
one.
what to cover.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to take a second to be. Okay. Wait. No. No. Dang. Okay. Okay. Uh. Okay, I want to talk for a second about an outcry.
Oh, I know what that is.
Yeah, did you play it?
I'm not done with it,
Okay.
but
I just did like a few days ago, and I only got one ending. I want to go back and do the others, but a mutual friend of Red and
yeah.
MC Prophet worked on it, and it
Mm.
just got nominated for an award. I forget what award.
Oh shit. I didn't know
Yeah,
that. I was gonna
yeah.
talk about it if you didn't. Woo!
Oh well, dang! I should have let you, and I could have talked about another one then.
Ah,
But yeah, it's getting some recognition because it is really interesting. It's like it's very much kind of RPG Maker horror vibes.
yeah.
Um, and it's rather explicitly about like trans and LGBT. Um, it, what would the extra noun be for that? I don't know. Just issues in general, I suppose. Um.
LBGT plus.
Oh well, sorry. No, not that. Like
Oh.
LGBT plus or
Uh,
LGBTQ, yeah, whichever. But like, I was trying to say like LGBTQ issues or LGBTQ related things, and the second noun of that part was escaping me as to what would be best to say. But
Mm.
yeah, the main character is I don't know if it ever specifies exactly what, but some flavor of like trans or non-binary.
because I thought it was a
Um,
non-binary.
yeah, the
That's how I read
pronouns are
it.
they them.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's when the most of the red text happens is when they misgender you as
right.
Mm.
she, her, or he, him.
That's true, yeah, because it does happen, yeah, with both. Um, but yeah, it's a very effectively weird and creepy game. Uh, that I don't know. It just I was hooked, honestly. Like I was playing it for someone picked it for the monthly game club that I do in my Patreon exclusive Discord server, and I I had forgotten, like I had heard about it because again, I know someone who worked on it, but I'd
Yeah.
forgotten that was this game. I didn't really know anything going into it because I'd forgotten what I had known about it, and it just had me hooked. It's very, very good. Um, and yeah, it got nominated for an award with
Yeah, and both of us are looking. We're going, what was it
yeah,
nominated
exactly.
for?
Independent Games Festival.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
nominees for Nuovo Award, which I'm not entirely certain what that means actually, but
I don't know.
yeah. um, it's in the list with a whole bunch of other like a relatively small unknown indie games, and that's really cool, and it's really good and really compelling, and I liked it a lot. I definitely want to go back and get another ending or three, and
Yeah, because
yeah.
I had gotten to the point where I think I was close to the ending, but I admittedly it was getting really heavy for me, and I was going, I'm gonna play something else that's a little bit more cheerful, and I haven't circled back
Yeah.
because they the main developer gave it to me for free, and I
Oh.
need to put it on my channel
Hmm.
because I've been meaning to shout it out anyway. So I'm like, oh cool, good.
Right.
Here's my first shot, and I get to do it again.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it is a
no,
heavy one for sure.
it's really heavy, and
Yeah.
do not play it if you are not in the right headspace.
Mm.
Right, yeah. It's certainly not as like I've played. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name, but there was another RPG Maker-ish game that came out like relatively early in the days of like indie games about depression, like around the same time as Depression Quest, that was just dismal. Just absolutely just like awful and really dark. And it's so it's not on that level, but it's
No.
nonetheless very much about exploring kind of the horror of being the type of person that society at large doesn't accept and actively wants hidden or gone.
Mm.
Like it's pretty rough in a very compelling way. Um so yeah, just I I liked it. Also there's a crow that sounds like Ben Shapiro, so
Yeah,
that's a
I
that's a
forgot about
thing.
that. I forgot about that damn
What?
crow. I forgot about that damn crow.
I couldn't, honestly. Just like halfway through, it starts doing that whole sequence, and I was like, "What the? Okay, sure, this is interesting." Oh man,
Like the
yeah,
crow talks? Or like
yep.
okay.
Yep.
There's precisely one voice character in this entire game, and it's a crow that sounds like Ben Shapiro. Intentionally, as far as I could tell, it's very intentional.
God, I
So,
hope so.
That's
uh,
awesome.
yeah.
All right, well, very cool.
Yeah, good one. Recommended.
Added that to my list as well. Why don't you go ahead, Red, and then we'll move on to the next category, I guess.
See, I wanted to go off and say Digimon, but I'm not nearly that far into Digimon Survive yet to say it.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do one I actually did finish, and it's another indie game. Surprise, no one is. It's called, it came out back in 2020. It's called Witchwood.
Oh, I've heard of
I've
that
heard
one.
of that, yeah.
Wait, is that one of the Cozy Cute Witch ones, or different one?
It's more of a collector-thon kind of,
Oh, okay.
almost adventure story kind of sword.
Okay.
Okay.
It is fairly good. I'm saying this a couple times because I'm like, it is fairly good, but the collection part, you are going to get to a point where you are collecting all of these things, because that is the main point of the game, is collecting the things to do the puzzle, but there's not really a whole lot of puzzling to do. Do the things and to get to the next part. Sometimes you are going to get very annoyed with the fact that you have, because you're crafting the majority of all of what you're collecting, and a lot of times you'll forget that one ingredient or that one extra thing you should have grabbed but you didn't grab because your bag
Right.
was full or whatever, and then you're internally screaming for about 30 minutes because you have to walk all the way back.
Oof.
Yeah.
There is there's a teleport system, there is a fast travel system. The game itself is really interesting. I enjoyed it. It was on PS Plus. I don't know if it still is.
What is
But
it called again?
it's called Witchwood. It's with the witch with like a pauldron on her head and like a fuzzy, and she's an
Okay.
old, and the main character is an old lady, and
Oh.
she's tasked by this goat to collect if she wants her memories back, she needs to collect I don't know if it's like the souls or something of all of these different people, and you find out that all of the different characters that you're collecting the souls of are all fairy tale characters.
Oh.
And
Okay.
this is very Grimm Brothers-esque, like these are darker versions of a lot of these characters. It's like the three pigs run a slaughterhouse kind of thing.
Oh gosh. Okay. Definitely not. I think I was mixing it up with another witch game.
Yeah, I think I was too.
Was it the cozy witch games, the really cute ones, or
There are like 5 of those coming
I
out
know.
soon, or
Yeah.
that came out recently. So yeah, I think my brain
That's fair.
did a switcheroo there.
I hate that my brain immediately I went, you mean Trigger Witch, the game about witches with guns? I love that game so much.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've heard of that one, but it sounds dope.
It's a game where you're a witch and you have a gun and you're from the clan of witches with guns.
Actually, it just sounds like Bayonetta when you say it like that.
I know, but it is like a top-down shooter game,
Okay.
and you're going from place to place, and you have to go through all these quirky little characters, and you can change the blood to candy if you're just
amazing.
sick of all the blood.
Excellent. Yes.
But I was that's a fun game. That's another fun witch game that came out, I think, back in 2021 or 2022.
Oh boy.
You mentioned it in the podcast for
So 2021 then.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I would highly give Witchwood a look if you have PS Plus, or if it's free, or if it's on because I know it's $20, and I feel like in a way it's worth that completely, but at the same time, if you really hate collectathon games, don't.
Right.
If you hate if you hate that a game's entire purpose is collecting the things, crafting the things, and then doing the other thing, and then having to go back and do it all over again, you're gonna hate it. But the story was worth it for me, learning about each of these individual characters and what sort of sin they committed that was so bad that this goat's like, I want their soul, and you go, oh, all right.
Oh.
Okay.
Because it's all very, very interesting. And it's the first platinum I've ever gotten on PlayStation.
Nice.
At this rate, it's going to be the only platinum.
Right.
Very good. I just added it to my library. You're right, it is on PS Plus, so
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We'll definitely be checking that out. Very cool. So, okay. We spent a lot of time on our favorite games. Let's move on to some other topics. Okay, ready? Most challenging game.
Let me consult my list really quick because my brain immediately just went, well, Elden Ring, obviously.
Yeah.
I got
But
one. I
Oh,
got one
okay.
immediately.
All right, go
Hey,
ahead. Yeah.
so has anyone played Final Fantasy Type 0?
oh god, okay, yes. Actually, I never finished it. I really want to go back and finish it because I do think that like the core element of its world that like when it's like constantly at war and whenever someone dies, their memory is immediately erased from everyone's minds so that
Yeah.
they don't have to deal with grief is
Oh,
super tragic and compelling.
So interesting.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
But
super into
it's
that. But
so
it's also a
hard.
PSP game that got ported onto modern consoles with very little change to how it works, and it's very awkward and weird.
It has no
Oh.
So,
reason to be as hard as it is. It has
yeah.
no reason. Because
Hmm.
I am not done with it. I have been playing it. It is such a pain. Maybe I'm just bad, but it is such a pain. I love that there are so many characters and you could do different play styles. But the thing is, when your main character dies, the character you're using the most dies, you got to use somebody else.
Right.
Hmm.
And
And
now
then it's
you're
just like,
stuck
oh,
with
how do
him.
they work? Oh, no.
Yeah, if you don't remember how every single one of these, what is it, 12 characters work,
Yeah,
then
something like that.
good luck.
Yep.
Oof.
It took me, I think it's like a week to beat the first boss.
Oh, man.
Oh my god.
It was this stupid. Also, was it Sid? Because Sid is in the game, but it's not really
Of
Sid, but
course.
it's Sid.
Yeah.
I
But I
mean,
think he's
it's
the main
it's
villain.
always different Sids.
He's a
so,
villain?
yeah.
Yeah, he's a villain in this one, and that was
Oh.
like
He's a
Sid in
villain
a
sometimes. He's a villain in 12, too.
yeah.
Okay.
It's Sid in a mecha in this one.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's
And
always associated with Magitech, so that makes sense.
yeah, and I was playing Sid in a mecha, and Sid in a mecha was kicking my ass. I was not happy playing this game, and I want to get back to it because I was really enjoying the story and the meaning. And I'm like, oh, am I actually really connecting with this Final Fantasy game? I haven't done this since 10. And then I get shot in the face. I'm like, okay, I'm not connecting
Yeah.
anymore. I'm going back to
Right.
13.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh, 13's a good. Well, a lot of people don't like 13. I think
I
13's
love
good.
13.
Yeah.
I get to finally finish it this year.
Nice.
Dear
Yeah.
God, though, I forgot about. I go, oh yeah, play it on the 360. I'm like, having to remember how the 360 works again. Let's go.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah. 13 has problems, but I think it's overall good, whereas a lot of people just say 13 has problems and therefore it's garbage, and I just think that's wrong.
13's problems are mostly that its first chunk is a lot of corridors, and it's
Yeah.
just it's way easier corridors than something like 10 was. So
Right.
that's why I think everybody immediately just is like, I hate it. That,
Yeah.
and I don't know, maybe it's just because of, I don't know, maybe the cast, but I love the cast.
I think the cast is the best part of it. The story's a
I do
heap of
too.
nonsense, but the characters are great, so.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
characters are honestly great, and Lightning is still one of my favorite angry emo protagonists ever. I
Yeah.
love her so
They
much.
develop her in such interesting ways with Snow and Hope and all that. Like, it's. Sorry, just, yeah, it's good. I made a
Yeah.
whole video defending the character everyone hates most,
Mhm.
like earlier this year, so, you know, like, yeah.
Who is the character that everyone hates the most in 13?
Hope.
Yeah. I can see
Everyone's
that.
just like, oh, he's so whiny. Why isn't this literal child who saw his mom die handling this stress like a mature person? Like,
You know, I kept thinking that when I was starting to play it over again, because that I wanted to start it over again and just get a fresh set of eyes on it.
yeah,
I kept thinking that his mom got shot. I forgot she got blown up.
pretty much. Yeah.
I forgot about the nuke.
Mm.
Yep.
I forgot about that
Yep.
part. I
It's
was like,
funny because when
oh,
I was playing it, I didn't like Vanille. And then I heard everyone complaining about Hope, and I'm like, what is wrong with all of you?
I just didn't like Snow.
I mean, I understand not liking Snow. I still think he's kind of misunderstood, but I get it.
If only because of the fact that I very much empathize with Lightning, and I go, no, I could see you punching him in the face. I get that, girl.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I wish I could comment here, but I've not played 13. But you said, is it on the 360?
It is on the
And
360,
PS3 and PC.
PS3, and PC. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
okay.
you could get it on Steam. It's on sale all the damn time.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Like
grab it on
it's
Steam for cheap at some
$5
point.
like all the time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to know because
Also,
yeah.
Type 0 is on sale all the time if you want to hate yourself like I do. I'm gonna beat it. That's one of my goals. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
really
beat it.
need to go back. I have this gorgeous steelbook case from when I pre-ordered it,
Oh
and
my
like I was
God.
so excited. It's really cool. Another one where the soundtrack is fantastic too.
Yeah.
Like the opening theme or menu theme or whatever is so good. But yeah, I need to beat it.
Yeah.
All right. Who's the next victim in admitting our gaming ineptitudes this year?
Oh right. Sorry, I was looking more, and then this stupid thing popped up and has been distracting me. This is Nutmeg.
I mean,
She's very cute and very terrible. I guess it's like I'm looking through the list, and there are a couple that were fairly difficult for me. I played BPM, bullets per minute, this year, and it is okay. Rhythm shooters are like my new favorite genre. I absolutely love them. I also played Metal Hellsinger, which came out this year. Absolutely love it. You're fighting through hell, and you have to do everything like reloading and firing your gun and stuff on beat with the metal music, which also
my
gets
God.
more complex, and like the vocals come in and stuff, the more of a kill count you get. Like, very cool. I love this entire genre so damn much. But yeah, no, the hardest game that I played. Actually, does Trombone Champ count? No, because the point is that you're bad at it, and that makes it funny. So no, it's Trombone Champ was fantastic though. But no, it's still Elden Ring. Like that's a basic answer. It's not like it's, you know, it's difficult, but it's not like it's the most difficult impossible thing ever or whatever. It's just that you have to be good at it. But you know, it's a difficult game. I never did beat Mikola. Not Mikola, sorry. Malenia.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, yeah. Well, we got to her. Danielle and I got to her. I was stunned by her beauty, that cutscene partway through, where like she changes forms and they're all the butterflies, so pretty. So I never beat her, I just got a crush on her.
Yeah.
She's so hard to beat.
She really is, because for those who are unaware, whenever she hits you, she gains health back.
Even if you block it with your shield, even if you don't take damage. And I was a shield blocky boy. Shield blocky girl. My character was a girl. But
Yeah.
still. Just,
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, like it's a basic answer. It's the game from the Dark Souls people that came out this year, so of course it's the most challenging game I played, but yeah.
I mean, I'd probably agree with you that I'm also going to throw Demon Souls in the ring, because that was...
Oh, fair, yeah.
Yeah, because I think, like, Elden Ring is obviously... I mean, yeah, that has to be on the list. It's one of the most challenging games that I played this year, but I find Demon Souls, at least for me, was, like, a little more challenging, just in the sense that, like, there's so many easy ways to die, like, so many, like, platforms that are just so narrow, it's so hard to fall off, and...
Yeah.
It's scary. And like in Demon Souls, you know, they have the system where, what is it called again? The
world tendency, where whenever you die as a human, it only gets darker, like it only gets harder, and you get more souls too, but it gets harder.
It's brutal. I just know one section, like we kept dying because we kept getting invaded.
Everyone invaded in that one area. It sucked.
Yeah, it was terrible. So of course my world tendency was low, and just hard enemies were placed into the level, and getting through it was just the worst thing ever. And then I like to look back on this, because I said to Sam at the time, I was like, I'm never playing this level again. Like, I hate it so much. And then for some sick, twisted way, decided to go in and help other folks, do it. And ended up helping, like, this one guy, like, go through it, like, constantly, because then he kept dying because, you know, it's a hard area. It's just a hard game. And I definitely struggled a lot. But, you know.
Yeah. It's certainly less friendly than Elden Ring, so I can see putting it as most challenging above it that you played this year for sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Any other challenging games before we move on?
It occurred to me that I could put um, the House in Fata Morgana or an Outcry as emotionally challenging games.
True.
So
That's fair.
just how do you define challenge? Maybe it's that. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. Also, okay, just random side note. God of War Ragnarok, I haven't finished it yet. There's a lot of like discourse around the like cutscene centric stories telling or whatever, but I'm enjoying it a lot. But just like the first one, it has some ridiculous difficulty spikes. Like you'll be going through having just a perfectly fine time, and then you'll come across a random like side content that you don't have to do, but nonetheless, random side content that's just right there, and then it's impossible. And then you put it down to easy mode, and it's still impossible. Like I don't know. I I think that personally the combat just isn't interesting enough for me to put enough like time and effort into figuring out how to make it work, but it's weird how just super difficult it gets at random optional points. But yeah, anyway.
I've never played the God of War games. I would like to, but
I'm sorry about well, no, that's an unpopular opinion. I hate God of War 2. I hate it so much. Um but yeah,
well,
no, like they're good games. They're worth playing. It's just that Kratos is an absolute garbage fire of a person for the first 3 games. So, like just a horrifically terrible person.
well, let me be clear too. I probably won't play those unless
That's fair.
you told me they're really worth playing.
I'm
I,
glad I did, but also I would understand not doing it because I didn't like them all that much and I really hated 2. So, if anything, I'd say maybe play 1 and 3. You could probably skip 2. Watch the opening cutscene to 2 and then just skip forward to 3 and don't worry about whatever you missed in the meantime because it's a colossal waste of time and it's not remotely critical of Kratos as a protagonist. So, sorry, I have a whole thing. I won't derail this entire thing into the reasons I hate one of the most beloved God of War games, but yeah.
no worries, no worries. Well, okay, so you mentioned like emotionally challenging games, but what was like or the most therapeutic game you played this year or 2022?
Find therapeutic? What do you mean by that exactly?
Yeah.
I mean, however you would define it, I guess. Like, what's something that I guess felt cozy or comfy, or something that kind of met you where you were at the point when you played it that felt really good and helped you, I guess, or just something that I guess you returned to that was like, that was just like sort of just nice to return to, I guess, a game, something that made you feel good.
I have
Ooblets.
two. Oh, okay.
What?
Yeah, talk about that.
Ooblets. I didn't really
okay.
talk about that. I didn't really talk about that because I hadn't gotten that far when I had originally written this, but Ooblets came out official release last year, I think officially, because it was on the Epic Game Store for God knows how long, and I don't mess with that really all that much.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's on the Switch now, and it's on PC now, and Ooblets is spelled Ooblets, and it is basically a farming simulator, but also it's Pokemon. And also in this farming simulator that is also Pokemon, that is also Animal Crossing, you have dance battles with the other Ooblets, and that is how you win battles. And once you claim dominance over the other Ooblet by winning this dance battle, you tell it, hey, give me your seed, and then it poops out a seed, and then you plant that seed in your garden, and then you grow yourself another Ooblet.
That's amazing.
That does sound fun.
It's so much fun. It came at a really good time because I get really, I guess, seasonal depression real bad in December. And I bought it in December because my supervisor really is enjoying it, and he goes, "You should really play it." And I go, "I didn't really want to pay full price for it, but I go, why not?" And I bought it, and I went, "I don't regret this. I don't regret this at all." and I have been doing the farming because I love farming games. That's just my general vibe. This is the farthest I've gotten into a farming game in a bit and been focused on it. So that's already a good sign for me. And there's like a
Yeah.
little mini story where there's something clearly kind of suspect going on with the Ooblets High Council. Yes, there is a story with the Ooblets High Council, but you have to kind of play nice, but you also have to try to restore the internet to to your main town of Badgetown.
Huh. That sounds fun.
Yeah, this does sound
And
fun.
you get a starting ooblets, like a starting group of ooblets, and then when you move to a new town, you get like the various versions of the other versions of the ooblets. There is no wrong way to play ooblets.
Well,
I would
that's fun.
highly recommend it.
Okay.
Always remember to weed your plants because that's the only I feel like that's the only way I could say that's the wrong way of playing ooblets. If you let every one of your plants get taken over by weeds like that, you're doing it wrong.
Mm.
Right.
Okay.
But no, honestly, that game was very comforting to me at a time where I was just getting those late year blues. So, 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Okay. I've heard of that one. I feel like it was one of the playthroughs that the YouTube channel Playframe did, but I could be misremembering that.
I think they did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, because it sounds familiar. But I've added that to my list because that just sounds so wonderful.
Okay, I've got a few options that I had trouble choosing between. One of them was Vampire Survivors, which I wouldn't exactly call cozy, but it's simple enough that you could, if you're like, if I'm tired but not actually ready to go to bed yet, just need to wind down for a little bit, I can just pop on Vampire Survivors, play for like half an hour, and it's great. Um, that game got a lot of press recently, just because it is legitimately quite good. So that was neat. Also considered Pixel Puzzle Makeout League, which is a dating sim about superheroes, except also the gameplay is Picross. And as someone who personally has quite an affinity for games where you do puzzles, but the puzzles are actually metaphors for other things, I really enjoyed it. Uh, Even though it's just as a non-monogamous person, it always annoys me when stories go like intentionally right up to the edge of non-monogamy and then say, but no, I have to choose one, and that happened in a really ridiculous way, so that was annoying. Um but no, that was also fun and cozy, but I'm gonna have to go with, and okay, Red, did you grow up playing any Humongous Entertainment games?
Yes.
They recently released a bundle of all of the Humongous Entertainment adventure games.
Oh no.
All of Freddy Fish and Pajama Sam and Putt Putt and Spy Fox, all of them. Every single one in one bundle. Um, that's very nice. I grew up with
That
these
is.
games. They're very cute and cozy and easy because they're made for children. Like, it's funny to go back because I have replayed some of them recently, and it's funny to remember, like, oh, I just wandered around for so long, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, a wrench. I found a thing that I needed to unscrew over there. I'll just go over like it's really simple and easy because it's for children, but they are nonetheless quite charming and very fun and cute. So, yeah, just those are good. In terms of cozy games, I can think of little more cozy than a re-release of like my entire gaming childhood. So, yeah, I'd say the Humongous Entertainment Collection probably's got to take that for me.
I mean, I could see that. Like, because I know I didn't play this year, but like this was also Humongous Entertainment, though not quite on the same scale as those ones, but Backyard Baseball.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
that is a comfort game for me, and it's so
Yep.
clunky, but I love it.
Yep.
I played a game called Behind the Frame this year,
Oh,
which is a game. It's like a puzzle game where you paint, and there's like a little narrative alongside it, and it's very short, and just very calm, very nice. I enjoyed it. But honestly, when I think about just like a game that's just like when I think of therapeutic sometimes for games, I think like something that's kind of easy to jump into and um, not all the time, but like sometimes you don't necessarily have to think about it. You can just do and, you know, enjoy it. Um, Final Fantasy 14. Like,
Okay, I should have actually just said that one now that I think about
yeah.
it.
Just because like it's become one of those games like for me where like I mean obviously sometimes we're doing story stuff, but other times like we're just kind of vibing at the gold saucer, you know?
Yep.
And or you know, working on your glamours or something. Like
One of those games where it can scratch pretty much any itch. So you
mm,
can just hop on and do whatever it is that feels, if you're into story right now, or if you just want to put your cat boy in a cute outfit or whatever,
mhm,
just, go for it. Have
right?
fun.
Hell yeah. Yes, that was definitely my comfort game um of the year for sure. Um
It occurs to me I just rediscovered my absolute addiction to Pocket Card Jockey, so maybe I should have picked that one too. But
yeah,
everyone play Pocket Card Jockey. It's on Apple Arcade now too, so do it. It's
get it
fun. It's by the
now.
makers of Pokemon, and you race horses by playing solitaire.
Get it
And
before
I
the
can't stop. I can't stop playing it. It's a problem.
it's on the eShop and the eShop's closing in what, March?
That's true. The 3DS eShop, yeah, something like that. So there's not much more time on that version,
I will admit
unfortunately.
it's easy to get that was I feel like that should have been one of my picks too. That was like earlier in the year when I was playing that. But it is one of those games that you can just like turn on any time and just like I would play it in bed. I never do that. It was great.
Yep.
Like
And then you never stop playing it ever.
no,
At
because
least
it's so
I don't
addicting.
ever. Yeah.
You just want to like get your horse like to win the next race and then fail
Yep.
miserably and
My,
need to
my
do it
partner will just
again.
be walking around the house and, me sitting on the couch mumbling numbers and swear words to myself. To myself. It's a problem. Uh,
It's one of those games that'll do that too.
yeah.
Um, so we've almost been recording for 2 hours, so I might try to pull back a little. We don't have too much more to go through, but um, I guess. Okay, so I'm gonna skip unless we want to do this one. I guess okay, we'll just move faster. Game. What was the game that you played that you've had on your list for a while?
I played New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas. I still haven't actually finished the dang thing, because it's big. But I finally am playing it. I got a Steam Deck, and that was one of the first things. I was like, I'm just gonna play through New Vegas on this thing. It's good. I'm enjoying it. It's I can see why people, why it's one of people's favorite Fallout games. There's a lot to like there. So yeah, I'm enjoying that.
I didn't finish it, but does Digimon. Okay, so I'm playing through Digimon Next World Order, which is the Digimon World remake for the modern consoles.
Oh, okay. Huh.
It is. I like it better than Digimon World because I don't have to worry about accidentally digivolving them to Numamon every 5 seconds. Because I don't. Because that was always a fear. MC Prophet actually did a whole video on the Digimon World games, and it just.
Yeah, are those the ones that that end up telling the backstory of that one character from Tamers, or am I
Yep.
thinking of different Digimon?
Nope,
Okay, yeah.
nope, that's the one.
Tamers is the one Digimon season I've seen. Season I've seen, and I love the hell out of it. So that's
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's the one. I think it's the third game. I don't.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been doing a co-op-ish playthrough with my boyfriend, and we've been passing the controller back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But these last couple of times, I'm like, I will look up the guide on how to digivolve them. I will just let you do the training part. Because it was a cooperative experience because that you have to know the exact stats on how to digivolve each of your Digimon in order to get them to the exact level that you may or may not want them at.
Oh gosh.
It is much more strategy intensive than it has any right to be, but I have been wanting to play this game more extensively since I was a kid, so I'm going this has been on my backlog This has been on my challenge list for a while now. I'm gonna try to beat it this year, but we started it back in 2021, and we have been playing it sporadically, but we got the most progress in 2022 and now going into 2023.
Oh, damn.
All right.
So I'm optimistically thinking that we'll beat it by the end of the year, but I have no guarantees. That it
That'd be
takes a lot.
nice.
It takes a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Understandable. I already talked about this game, so I don't need to dwell on it too much. But the game that I have on my list for a while was Persona 5 Royal. That's just a game that I've been wanting to play for so long. And I just realized I haven't been using the commands, so I'm going to use my command now for a voice line, which is my favorite from Persona 5. And I don't know if it's actually playing or not. I don't think it is, but I don't think it is. Oh, well, anyway. Maybe it worked. I just realized I had the stream muted, so that's probably why. Hopefully it played. Just Ryuji screaming. But anyway. Saying voice dialogue, but anyway. It's a very good line. Hopefully it played. Moving on, though. Any games that we replayed this year?
I made one of my partners try playing Celeste.
Ooh.
And so she got through the first level of it and then went home. And then I played Celeste. Because it's so good. I love it so much. And I've never actually, I never actually went all the way through and like finished the Heart stuff and the Farewell DLC.
Yeah.
So I'm actually on the Farewell DLC now. I'm still trying to work through that. It is tough. But it's just, it's weird. It's one of those where sometimes I feel like usually I forget how much I love Celeste. And then, I don't know, something happens. I hear some music from it, or I play it again, or I don't know, look at it or think about it somehow. And I remember just how good it is and how much I love it. It's genuinely one of my favorite games from the last many years. Might be in my top 10. I love it so much. So I really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah.
That was worth revisiting for sure.
You know that they're doing another physical release for Celeste?
I saw that, and it's annoying because I already have a physical release. I paid money for it, but this one has like a special edition with like a pin with the feather on it, and like a book that has like a diary with like 100 pages of affirmations and stuff written by the creator of the game, and I really want it.
Yeah.
Even though I already have it digitally and physically and don't need it, but I want it so bad.
Yeah.
I just gotta raise at work. Maybe I'll just go for it.
The artwork is really nice on the cover, I will say. So,
It's just so good. I love that game so damn much.
Yeah, I love Celeste. Very good game. What about you, Red?
I'm trying to think if I actually replayed anything this year, and I don't think I did. I think I played mostly new stuff this year.
That's impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I think I continued more games from a previous years than I did actually go and replay anything.
Makes sense.
I rewatched shows this year, but that's about it.
Fair. I guess this counts as a replay. I played through The Last of Us Part 1, the like PS5 remake.
I'd say that's close enough to a replay.
Yeah, and to be honest, like, so I mentioned like before the stream that like I wrote down like a lot of my notes, and to be honest with you, I wrote so much for this game that I can't read it all. But I get my overall feelings on it were that I get why it was made. I just learned yesterday that apparently Naughty Dog made this game because they were talking about laying off everybody unless they made the game. I don't know.
I mean, their workplace culture is kind of famously shit, so I guess I wouldn't be surprised, but still.
Yeah. I'd have to look up the sources on that. I was listening to a podcast where they were like recapping the show. So, but when I learned that, I was like, okay, like I guess that makes more sense because to be honest, like when this game was announced, I was like, why does this exist? Like, I don't understand.
Between it and the Dead Space remake that's coming out soon, there's just kind of a lot of why. And I usually defend game remakes. I think it's important for like accessibility and what's the word? Like making sure that older games are still playable.
Persona 3 portable, baby.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Preservation, there's a better word for it. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
remakes are a good thing, but weirdly unnecessary here. But
I mean,
though I have heard people talk about how The Last of Us Part 1 has a lot better accessibility options than the previous releases of The Last of Us of the original game, and that's a positive thing, and I'll give it that.
Yeah, and that's probably like if you're looking at this game and trying to like I guess justify its $70 price tag, that's really the only justification here. Other than the fact that like they reanimated like everything, and it looks really damn good. But in terms of like what you're getting, the accessibility features are really what are the standout features here. Because they basically like on a surface level, this part 1 is basically just taking the aesthetic of part 2 and just copying over to part 1. So like for example, when you open a safe in the original game, you don't have to enter the numbers, but in part 2 you actually enter them in, so they carried that to part 1. Or when Joel upgrades his weapon, the animations that are in part 2, they brought it to part 1. So it's like stuff like that, like I guess they did it for like consistency purposes, which is like kind of cool, but like again unnecessary. And obviously they gave Ellie her what I'm calling new face, since she looks so much like Elliot Page, and they definitely remodeled it for part 2.
Huh. I mean, yeah, she's older too. So.
Well, I mean, like the flashback sections.
Oh,
like when
I see
she's
what you
younger,
mean.
yeah. And at first, like I was a little nervous about like just, I guess, the new looks of everybody. But honestly, after playing this version, in my head, it is the definitive version. Like I wouldn't necessarily want to go back to playing the PS4 now that I have like the new character models and stuff. I just like it better. It's able to convey things that I don't think, oddly enough, the original was able to convey, at least not as well. But $70 is a lot of money for a game that you can buy for like sometimes $10 at major retailers. Like,
oh, I'd say I worked at GameStop years ago, and the original was down to $5, just because there were so many copies of the dang thing. Like,
yeah, like there's not much to justify the price tag. I actually played it on I got a free trial to GameFly, so that's how I played it.
Right.
Though I did end up getting the game for Christmas, so I do own it now. But
oh well, there you go.
But I didn't have to buy it, so. But yeah, like it's very good. It's just that, again, I'm hard pressed to figure a reason for its existence. But the accessibility features are very good. So, obviously that's important. So, yeah. So I'm going to skip over this next one and just move on to.
We have talked about a lot of them, so.
yeah. We've talked a lot, and it is getting late. So I'll say let's start wrapping this up and talk about the games we're looking forward to playing in 2023.
I have had these lists up this whole time. Anyone sees the reflection on my glasses, it's me looking up these games going, is this what I was looking at? Yeah. So there's this game that's coming out. It's called She Dreams Elsewhere, and I swear to you, if they do not release it, I will be so sad.
Oh.
Because it's been in development for a minute, and it is very Earthbound-esque in terms of models and such for the enemies. It is the it's the classic RPG kind of digital version. I don't want to say it has Undertale vibes, but like it's black and white at first, so I mean a little bit, I guess. But
right.
more Earthbound than anything, to be honest with you. And it's a surreal adventure RPG that has an ethereal dreamscape. I'm reading from the Steam page because it's the easiest way to explain it without spoil you too much, but it's about confronting your inner nightmares and escaping from your never-ending coma. It just looks really cool, and I haven't played the demo yet because there isn't one, and I'm just waiting for it to actually exist because I've been so looking forward to it.
Okay,
So
cool.
that one. I want this one to
Yeah.
come out, please.
I added that to my wish list as well. Any others read on your list?
Okay, Steam, give it to me. This is the best way for me to organize any games that I want, I've noticed. I would like Goodbye Volcano High to come out. That would be one
Yeah.
I would. Yeah!
That one looks good, and it's taken long enough to come out that there's a weird homophobic anti-game
Wait,
made
what?
about it already.
Why?
So, yeah, it's weird.
Why?
Yeah, weird thing. I don't.
Is it because they saw Lachlan? I forgot their last name, but like Lachlan, the actor that is in the Chucky series and that was in Sabrina, that is doing the voice of one of the characters, and did they immediately go, "Oh God, the gays," and just had
Yeah,
like an aneurysm? Is that
I
what
mean,
happened?
I think
Hmm.
honestly that they just did that over just seeing Goodbye Volcano High in the first place, because it sure looks and feels like a pretty gay game, and these people were just like, no, I forget what they called it, like Snoot Game or something. It's like a 4chan thing, and they made it clearly as a ripoff of it, but it has some like real homophobic themes and stuff. It's a whole
4chan,
thing.
you have no room to talk. I, I could go off. I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't have room to talk, or 4chan doesn't have room to talk?
4chan does
Oh,
it.
okay. I was gonna say, like,
I look in dead in the eyes of 4chan and go, I know your history, my guy.
yep.
I know you. I was there.
Yep.
Oof.
I am looking forward to Goodbye Volcano High coming out if it comes out, because it has those vibes. It has the visual novel kind of
Yeah, it's got that
life,
feel.
Life is Strange, but not
Hmm.
written by French people that are slightly out of touch
Hmm.
vibes.
Hmm.
That one would be really great, and I would really like it if Spirit Tea comes out, because that is similar to a lot of games we've been getting lately, but it's about people are having problems in this town, but if you serve tea to these spirits, they might have less problems. And that's the plot.
Interesting. Okay.
That sounds great.
There is a demo, so we have a demo. So that's already good.
Right.
And
Yes.
it
Good.
just it looks really nice, and just it has good vibes, and I would really like to play it.
Hmm.
It has Spirited Away vibes to it, and I'm looking forward to it. And I just want it to come out and be a good, fun little game that I enjoy. And please play the demo. It is actually pretty neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
got
forgot that
the
there was a demo. I'm gonna have to
Mm.
bring that up.
Yeah. Yeah, immediately
Yep.
when I looked at it, I thought of Spirited Away. So,
Yep. Tis the vibe.
I love
Tis the
that.
vibe.
Okay.
So that's what I've got.
Okay. What about you, Sam?
Too many. Okay, but I will be
Okay.
brief about each of them. Okay. First, there's a list of games that came out this year that I haven't had the chance to play yet. Tunic. I don't know a lot about it, but everyone's going
Yeah.
off about it, and I'm excited for that. Signalis looks amazing. And I haven't bought it yet, but I'm going to, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I played the demo for Roller Drome, which is basically shooter, except also it's Tony Hawk, and you reload by doing sick tricks. So it was quite fun, and I would like to play more of it at some point. Pentiment, also, frankly, don't know a lot about it. The art style doesn't look amazing to me, but everyone was just going off about how amazing this is as like a narrative experience, and I did buy it, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I also pre-ordered a Plague Tale Requiem because I really enjoyed the first one. Have not touched Requiem yet because I'm still in the middle of a bunch of other games. But I'm looking forward to playing it. Immortality, I heard great things about. Dwarf Fortress officially released this year, and I've never played Dwarf
What?
Fortress, but it's been like a weird in-joke almost.
What year is it?
Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, it's a thing now, and so Dwarf Fortress stories are going on all over the place. It sold so many copies immediately as soon as it went
Oh
up
my
on Steam that the
god.
people who made it are instantly millionaires. So like, yeah, uh, yeah, good stuff there. Neon White also, I don't know much about, but people are raving about it, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I did buy it on sale a bit ago. The Midquel Trails games came out recently, and I'm behind and still working on Trails of Cold Steel 4 and Trails in the Sky, uh, the second one, SC. Yeah. But I love the Trails games, so I'm looking forward to getting back caught up on those. Stranger of Paradise came out, the weird dorky Final Fantasy 1 reimagining with that like scene where they're talking about like chaos and darkness, and then the main character's like
Chaos.
bullshit, turns around and turns on some like grunge music from his cell phone.
Oh my
Like,
god.
yeah, it's bizarre, and I'm looking forward to playing it. Moss Book 2 came out, and I still need to finish Book 1, but I'm really looking forward to that. It's that VR game with the cute little mouse
Oh
named Will with the
yeah.
sword.
Hmm.
The first one's great, yeah. Let's see. Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers Edition, of course. The Quarry, because I really enjoy Supermassive stuff, even if the Dark Pictures games are mostly bad. I did play House of Ashes this year, actually, and it was fantastic, surprisingly, but the first two weren't good. So I'm looking forward to playing The Quarry. Choo Choo Charles just came out. Have you two seen Choo Choo Charles?
No.
Actually, that might be this year. Now that I think about it, that might have been after January. It's a game where you have a little like train engine, and you're trying to like explore around this island on your train engine and upgrade it so that you can kill a giant eight-legged evil train who goes around eating people.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
So you're trying to upgrade your trains enough that you can kill Charles.
I just found it. Wow.
Yeah, it
That came
looks
out end of the year last year. Oh my god.
okay. Yeah, it looks just so weird and fun and neat, and I'm gonna be terrified, but I'm going to play it anyway. Okay, two more of these. Potionomics. I still haven't played, but the animations on like you're just making potions, and it's like a romance thing too. And the animations for these characters are incredible. The game just looks fantastic. So, and I've heard good things. Looking forward to playing that. And also, Live Alive came out this year.
It did.
Yeah, again, what year is it? Because that was originally on the Super Nintendo, but we never got it over here, and then they remade it on the Switch with, like the Octopath Traveler art style. And I've been wanting to play this game ever since I first heard about it, but it just wasn't available without a bunch of weird modding for fan translations. So I bought it. I haven't started it yet. It's long, and I'm in the middle of a lot of games, but I'm really excited for it. Okay, and then as for the ones that are actually coming out next year, Season: A Letter to the Future looks
Yes.
incredible. You're just like riding around on a bike, meeting people as the world is coming to an end, basically, just trying to kind of chronicle what's happening. It looks cozy as hell. It's super like melancholic and really good. Like a Dragon Ishin is getting localized finally. It's a Yakuza spin-off where it's like what if the Yakuza characters were in Edo period Japan as samurai?
Oh.
Looks fun. There's an entire fight in a bathhouse with two completely naked men and steam just censoring them at every turn, and it looks
Oh my
very
God.
silly. Hollow Knight Silk Song, I guess, probably is supposed to come out. Maybe. I hope so. So,
yeah.
there's that. Breath of the Wild 2, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
There's a game that just came out called Hi-Fi Rush, and it's like a third-person rhythm-based action game with the most just incredible art style I've ever like. In terms of making a 3D art look like 2D art, look like it's an animated show or something, it is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It looks incredible, just visually speaking. So I'm looking forward to playing Hi-Fi Rush. I need to just buy it and play it because it's out now. Fire Emblem Engage, probably. I wasn't too interested until I saw the stuff about how the battles take place on like an actual consistent map that it just zooms in and out of, and that you explore and find pets to adopt. That looks neat. Final Fantasy 16, obviously. I will buy any new Final Fantasies. Eve is coming out on Switch. Did you hear about that, Red?
I did hear about that comment out about that. Yeah, no, I did hear about it. I want to buy it if only to support the release because
100%, yeah.
yeah, no, Eve, I'm so happy about it. In a way I'm like I go, but I don't know, but I go you love this game, just buy it. I go,
Yeah,
I'm gonna buy it.
I
I'm gonna buy
really
it.
liked that one, and if it's gonna be on Switch, and but just yeah, I'm here for that. Spider-Man 2, because I
Oh,
really liked the first. Honestly, the first Spider-Man on PS4 has probably my favorite version of Doc Ock. I
Hmm.
really, really liked him in that story. So I'm looking forward to the next one. Also, swinging around's fun. And then last one, Romancylvania.
Oh,
It's a like a it's like a Castlevania inspired game, except also a dating sim. It's called Romancylvania.
Romancylvania.
that's amazing.
Yup. Much like I like games that are like puzzle games that are a metaphor for other stuff, I also like one genre, also dating sim. So, excited for that too. So anyway, sorry for the long list. I kept them all brief enough, I hope. But yeah, lots of
That's
fun stuff.
a good list. You mentioned a few that I'm looking forward to, which is Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda,
Mhm.
Spider-Man 2. Very excited for that because that game is like the first game that's ever made me cry like really hard at a video game. Like
Yeah.
it just the story is so good. I'm very excited to see what they do with the second one. Um, assuming that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming out this year. They said
Oh,
winter
right.
2023, so meaning
I forgot that was
December
so soon.
if they stick to it,
Right.
which, at this point we can
Yeah,
assume that.
theoretically.
Yeah. Um Turnip Boy robs a bank.
Yeah. I forgot that was coming out. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay. I'll get on commits tax evasion then.
Yeah.
I'll get
You've
on
got
committing tax
to.
evasion. I'll make sure to do that soon.
Yeah, you got to do
Yes,
that. Yeah.
excellent.
Important.
Got to get around to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Um I didn't love Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order like that much, but that said, I liked it enough that I'm looking forward to the sequel, Survivor.
Yeah. Same.
Lies of P, I'm looking forward to. It's like that Pinocchio Bloodborne
Oh,
game.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Sorry, the what?
Yeah, what if Pinocchio was a Souls-like, I guess.
Yeah.
Show me where I asked. Okay.
um let me look this up. I'll send you a link to it, but
Please.
it's it looks really interesting. I'm very much looking forward to that. And I really love the Cook Serve Delicious games. Just games about cooking at restaurants, and you have a food truck in the third one. It's really great. And they're coming out with another one called Cook Serve Forever. So I'm excited about that one. And then of course, I'm currently going through Shadowbringers and Final Fantasy 14, but looking forward to finishing that, and then of course Endwalker.
Now that I think about it, theoretically the next expansion should be coming out around the end of this year. So
So I better get
that's
on it.
top of my most anticipated games, if that's the case.
Yeah.
So
I'm very much looking forward to being like current in that game, and being able to play the
yeah,
expansion when it
it's
actually
weird.
comes
It's a
out.
completely different experience from playing and catching up. Yeah, it's weird.
Yes, I can only imagine. Which Red, have you played Final Fantasy 14? I forget.
I have.
You
I
have, okay.
still have not gotten through Realm Reborn.
That's understandable, Realm Reborn. Well, if you ever want friends to play with to help you get to the good shit,
I I have a friend that has been trying to drag me through it, and I'm just going, "Oh, look, a bird!" and I'll just go off somewhere
I mean,
else.
that's fair. You don't want to rush through a Realm Reborn or you'll burn out on it. So
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that was kind of what was starting to go on, is that I was playing it so much, I was trying to get through it because I knew that they really wanted me to see the other parts of it. They kept
yeah,
telling me about it, and I'm at the point where I'm going, I don't know if I like this game. This is not my
yeah.
style.
It is genuinely so worth it. But with someone who also just doesn't really like MMOs, I can understand why the first little while doesn't necessarily explain why. But I promise, the moment you get into Heaven's Word, you'll understand.
I have a feeling that's kind of what it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be a kind of a Burning Crusade effect on it, where it's
Yeah.
like it's so much better than the base game, but at the same time, I also played through WoW
Mm.
up to a point by being also dragged through that. So I'm going,
Right.
"Hmm,
Yeah.
here we go again."
It's funny because like I I'm playing through it because I wanted to like experience the story, but like in many ways, like I will never play an MMO ever after this. Like I have no interest. Like it is not my thing. But I will do it for this game because I'm in the deep end now. Like I can't
This
turn
is
back.
also really the only MMO with this degree of narrative focus.
Yeah.
At least that I'm aware of. I guess I can't say that for 100% sure because I haven't played a lot of them, but like everything that I see, everyone that I see talking about it says that 14 is extremely unique in that sense.
Yeah.
And I'm not really interested in playing MMOs that aren't, frankly. Except for Wakfu because it's a turn-based tactics MMO with a cute art style and I love the show. So
Well, there you go.
everyone should watch Wakfu. No one's watched that show and they should. It's so good. But
You,
yeah.
you must have recommended that to me because I was looking at like shows I wanted to watch the other day and I saw that on
Yeah,
there and I was like,
I think you
what?
did say that one last time, and I
I'm
went, why do
sure.
I remember this?
Yeah, I evangelized the hell out of that show because it's so damn good and not enough people have seen it. And the English dub on Netflix isn't all that great because it's French originally. But still, the show is very, very good. And it's based on an MMO that is pretty fun. So,
Okay.
you know.
Well,
Yeah.
well. So I believe that ends our conversation about the games we played in 2022. So overall, yeah, it does sound like we all had a pretty good year. So I'm excited once we get to chat, of course, about 2023. And admittedly, I'm like already excited about it because I played a lot of shorter games and I've already played like I think 15 games this year, which is
Wow.
exciting. I know. So now I'm already excited to talk about 2023, but we have a long way to go for that. So yeah.
Oh, you just got Beyond Good and Evil working, didn't you, on your 360?
I
You can
have
play
my
that now?
360. I don't know if you can see it from here, but I have it set up right there.
Very excited to hear your thoughts on that one. I love the hell out of that game.
Same. That's my favorite game. So I'm going. I know.
Yep.
I'm
It's so good.
I know the PC version is bad. That's why I
Yeah.
go, please tell me you have it on the console. Please tell me.
Yeah, I have it on console and I have the Steam version. I went to play the Steam version and was like, oh, no.
It's broken. No, it's bad.
Well, there's no controller
I don't know.
support.
I don't know why they don't fix it. I don't know why they don't fix it.
I
tried
genuinely
playing it on the Steam Deck, and it was like at half resolution, meaning it was on the Steam Deck screen, but it was like this big.
Oh, no.
And also it was in French, and I couldn't change it, and also the controls didn't work, and I was like, okay, well, I guess this is a lost cause.
Yeah, I've had so many friends just go, they go, how do I get to even play this? I go, you're gonna have to get the other game. I'm
My
sorry.
understanding is you use Dolphin and emulate the GameCube version.
Yep.
Like that's your only hope.
That is your only hope
Yeah.
if you do not have a physical copy.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate. But luckily I did pick it up. Like I'm pretty sure it was on sale, so I have the digital version for 360. So
Yeah.
now that I have my lovely 360 hooked up, I guess I'll be playing it soon, hopefully. So yeah, very excited about that one. Because yeah, that was very depressing when I booted it up on Steam and realized I could not play with a controller unless I installed something, and that was too much effort. So didn't want to do that. So yeah, fun times. But anyway, do you both want to share, I guess, where people can find you? I've also put it in the chat, but for folks who are not watching live.
That are just potentially listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll say it since I spoke up first.
Okay, yeah.
Like I spoke up first, I might as well.
I introduced myself first at the beginning, so you get to.
Okie doke, that's fair. You can find me at because I know my channel name is at Red Angel Ponderings because I finally got that URL change from the numbers. So at Red Angel Ponderings on YouTube, on Twitter I'm Red Angel X3. On Twitch I think I got the Red Angel X3 account back, so so I'm that again. So that all of those, that's where you would find me. Easiest way to bug me is on Twitter because that's one of the few that I check. But if you want to bug me on YouTube, since I am going to be releasing a lot of stuff soon, since I have way too many scripts that I need to record, feel free to bug me on there too.
Well, I am youtube.com/games as literature, or if you just search up Games as Lit 101 on YouTube, you'll find my stuff. Also just on Patreon, Patreon/Games as Lit, and or sorry, Games as Lit 101, and Twitter, Games as Lit. I had a pretty bad year in terms of content creation this year. Actually, I didn't do much,
Same.
but
Big same.
yeah, but I have plans at least for one a month this year, and we'll be putting out an analysis on Fatal Frame 2 that was originally intended for October. Again, I did a bad job last year, but
Big
we'll
same.
be putting that out soon, and then a special to celebrate 50,000 subscribers because I hit that a little while ago, and then
Nice.
on
Nice.
to a bunch of other fun stuff, including a video about the House in Fata Morgana and one about the accidental Christian imperialism in Left Behind in the Left Behind video game. So,
Oh,
yay!
Fun.
yikes, fam.
Yep. Mostly accidental, I should say, but it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, for sure.
You ever try and make a game with non-lethal combat options and accidentally make a game about how you should convert or die? Like,
Oof. I mean, if
okay,
anybody was
anyway,
going to
sorry.
do it, Left Behind.
I know, right? Not surprising. Yeah, again, not entirely intentional, but nonetheless interesting to examine how they got there.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, you can find me, Level Story, over on YouTube at youtube.com/c/Level Story, or just search Level Story Magazine, even though technically I am not doing the magazine anymore. It's a long story. You can find me on Twitter at levelstory_, levelstory.net, and if you want to donate to the project, coffee or ko-fi.com/levelstory. And hopefully we'll be getting more content out. But yeah, 2022 was not a good year for content creation for me either. Though I can't say 2021 was either. So it's hopefully 2023 gets better. We'll see.
Yeah, next year we'll all have great stories to tell about all the cool stuff we made.
Optimism.
So.
Yes.
Optimism.
You know what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great thing. But yeah, for those watching, thanks for tuning in. This will be uploaded to YouTube and to the podcast feed. Yeah. Let me quickly.
Au revoir, Lil
Let me
Reaper.
quickly.
Au revoir, Lil
Let me
Reaper.
quickly.
Au revoir.
Sorry, I was just playing. So the clip from Death and Taxes. I just played it.
I heard.
Did you hear it? Good. Okay. I really love it. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for watching. And yeah, thank you both for coming on. This was fun, as always.
Yep.
And we'll talk to you all later.
Yep.
Catch you on the flip side.
Yeah.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.